Hello, welcome. Also, thank you, Andre. I did this instrumental like I don't know, a couple of years ago for a rapper, but yeah, I never released the song. Like I think it was like 2020, and then we just like fell out of touch. Anyway, welcome to the stream. There's currently 11 of you, and tell me if the sounds are right. We're gonna watch Star Citizen live first. Then, or I can tell you right now that I saw a leak from the pipeline news, and they're never wrong. And the leak said Wave 1 is tonight or Monday. So it's either tonight, Friday, or Monday next week. Sources are 1 internal, like from CAG, a dev from CAG, and 3 reliable third parties. Hey, Evgeny. Hey, Visor. So, yeah, we might be playing 318 on the stream tonight. Maybe. Probably. Possibly. But also maybe not. If we're gonna play Star Citizen tonight, I'm gonna get rid of the bug counter and all of that. Like not Star Citizen, but like PTU tonight. If not, we're gonna continue where we left off in the live version. Sound is normal. Nice. Hey, Looney. So I want to start it off immediately so we can have more time, and so we can talk about some things, because I saw that Sandy was in the Star Citizen live today. Now, I am gonna cut off a portion of Star Citizen live, and that's gonna be the commercial portion, like the Citizen commercial or whatever you want to call it, because they mostly use copyrighted music, and YouTube is they're like really like the ban hammer on the copyrighted music is so fucking bad that it's ridiculous. So this one is called Master Modes, and I think let me just get rid of the broken game mechanics and all of that, because we might be playing PTU tonight. But yeah, so I don't look angry to get. I don't. Okay. I don't look ready to get angry at Star Citizen. I'm too calm. Yeah, I'm drinking hot chocolate and smoking a cigarette, and I am all for it. Like, I'm all up for it. Bring it on. Let me get angry. I am ready. So live in February. I mean, I said March, but maybe even February. Yeah, maybe even January. You never know. It's not going to be January because they're going to be on vacation and all of that shit. So let's start watching the Star Citizen live that got aired on Twitch an hour ago, or maybe a couple of hours ago. All right. Tell me if the sound is good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of...
I'm not here to get your hopes up, but also, yeah, that's what the leak said. Yeah, Green Shield, the leak said that PTU could be up tonight or on Monday. And it was confirmed by 1 internal source and 3 reliable third-party sources.
Star Citizen Live. I'm your host, Jared Huckabee, and Star Citizen Live is where we take an hour out of the end of our week and we chat with our CIG developers and staff, talking about the folks.
So it's either now
our video
or
games each and every
Monday.
week. On today's show, we have members from the vehicle.
Again, when I say now, it's 8 p.m. for me, and it's probably going to be like if it happens on Friday, it could be like, I don't know, in 6 hours from now, because it's still going to be Friday US time. So yeah.
Team Richard Towler and Yogi Cladon to discuss a follow-up to their recent CitizenCon presentation. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it this week. Rich, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks. It's great to be here. It's a great set. It's my first time on here, so...
It's your first time with the new talk show setup, right?
It's great.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yogi, you're joining us from Frankfurt. Say hi.
Yogi.
Well, from my work office, yes. Practically from Frankfurt. Not quite Frankfurt, but yes. Hi.
Is it as cool?
I'm not going to do a counter for the PTU because there's no reason. Like the PTU is going to be broken, and we know that the point behind 317, like broken counter and bug counter, is because we were playing that for a year, because we were playing a broken fucking patch for a year without any actual updates and bug fixes. So for the PTU, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stream it, then I'm gonna clip it, and like we're gonna see all the bugs, and I'm gonna do a bunch of issue council reports, or maybe you guys can clip it and make issue council reports while I'm playing it, if it happens tonight. If not, we're gonna do it whenever it happens. So let's continue.
Oh, I don't think so. All I have is like this little picture here behind me. Other than this, nothing spacey here.
But you do have the Pico Yoda. Show me the Pico Yoda real quick.
Oh, Pico.
Where are we going?
Well, I've got
You showing this?
Pico. So there's Pico, right? And there's Yoda, and they're good friends, and they're swapping like clothes and all that. So yeah.
What the fuck?
All right, so Yogi was showing that off before we started the show. So let's jump into it. We are at CitizenCon this year. We did our kind of our typical vehicle feature experience segment where we talk about the evolution, the continuing evolution of our flight combat. And this year we announced master modes, which was a pretty dramatic change to the way that our single seat ships, our dogfighters, whatnot, are going to handle in the verse. It's currently in testing right now under the Squadron 42 branch.
I'm gonna say one thing. I love pre-made YouTube videos. I love making them. I think they're gonna be. I think that they're like better content than this is, because when I'm doing this, I'm doing like streaming for 3 hours. Then I gotta record the whole stream. That's gonna take another 3 hours. Then cut it up. Gonna take 2 hours to get like clips for the YouTube channel. So it takes a long time. So I can't really make pre-made videos, like videos that are made behind the scenes, I guess, or whatever. But honestly, I enjoy this a bit more because I'm talking to you guys. So, yeah.
Entire presentation. For folks who maybe haven't seen it, what is Master Modes? Who wants to take it?
I'll take it.
Okay.
So, Master Modes is basically our way of fixing the combat in the game, but also allowing the ship experience and the ship roles to kind of fulfill themselves. So early on in the combat, we tried several things which the community knows about. We tried to patch on things to help combat, to help fix it, and none of them really worked. So we looked at what's the fundamental problem with the kind of combat and the ship geometry that we have in the game right now, and the common denominator was speed. But we didn't want to come up with a way which was,
we knew that
right,
for
let's
years
just blanket cap the speed, because if you go too fast, it breaks the game. We just didn't want to do like an overall arching kind of cap, because there's still so many things you do in Star Citizen beyond combat. You spend a lot of time traveling from A to B, and the distances we have in the game are crazy. We travel millions of kilometers all the time in the game.
I do want to clarify, when you say speed, you're saying high speed.
Yes, high speed.
Too much speed.
Yes.
Because I think from a
Jack, I was about to say that. So Jack said that he has the hand moves like Chris Roberts. He's trying, but no ball. It's close, but no ball.
Perspective, from an outsider's perspective, for those of us who watch racing and watch combat movies like Top Gun and everything, more speed seems to be a good thing. It seems to be the thing that makes stuff exciting, makes stuff visceral. Everybody likes bobbing and weaving through canyons as fast as possible. But you're saying too much speed actually hurts the combat experience.
Yes, yeah. So if you're traveling very quickly, the distances you cover in that amount of time become really large. So if you're having a dogfight with someone and you're flying at 1,000
It's more like Chris Roberts with Alzheimer's.
meters per second, within a very short amount of time, you could be
I never
3 or
said
4
that.
kilometers away
Don't
from the
ban
target
me.
if you've turned
Don't
around, and
cancel
then you're
me.
flying back toward each other, and then you basically repeat the action and you just end up firing at the nose of your opponent. And that's not really fun, because you don't get, it makes it really hard to balance. It makes it really hard for the weapons to make a difference, the different types of weapons we have in the game. So the goal for this was to bring the combat closer and to make it much more about kind of outmaneuvering your opponent. So if you can get the edge on your opponent and you're trying to do this and that, move around each other, there's going to be key moments in this where you get an advantage and you can use the distinct weapons you've chosen, your special loadout you've chosen, And those things will be an advantage, but also be disadvantages too. But we want it to be about those moments where you really engage in combat and it becomes about outmaneuvering your opponent rather than this kind of slingshot, kind of nose-on-nose combat we've kind of been used to.
And so we're doing
Shut
this
up,
by
Chase,
introducing...
don't clip it.
what master modes are basically two different operational states for the vehicle. Yogi, why don't you tell us what the two operational states are? What are the two master modes?
So the one state is
Ethan, the league said that we're gonna get wave 1 either tonight or on Monday.
Combat mode. We're still like talking about whether it's should be like standard control mode or actual just combat mode. This is the mode in which you do the majority of your gameplay, and like you're gonna do all the combat stuff. You're probably gonna do mining in that as well. And the other mode, which you swap your ship into, it was called QCM in our presentation recently. We're just gonna call it NAF mode because it's more descriptive name for it. And this one allows you to use your quantum mode, and it allows you to unlock the high velocities, but it makes your ship very, very vulnerable in terms of like.
Now, we know all of this, but the issue is we do not know how much they have done, because we know that they did this for the Gladius and that's it. So they need to like redo all the ships and all the ship speeds for this to happen. So
shields or weapons working during the time.
I want to hear.
Basically, that is the idea to what Rich just alluded. Like we're separating these two gameplay systems apart from each other. So you can either choose to be like high performant and dangerous, or you can be fast, right? And travel and navigate around the verse, but you can't do it both at the same time.
Okay. So that's where we are currently right now in the Squadron 42 branch. But like you mentioned before, that we've known about this issue for a while. We identified this issue.
They have no idea what to call it.
You know, a while back, folks who have
honestly, QCM made a lot of confusion because quantum mode, but you're not jumping. It's just weird.
Watching our broadcasts and seeing you on shows over the years are very familiar with hearing this refrain that we got to fix speed. What are some of the things that we tried before this?
Right, Shane, or Sean, not Shane, Sean, you said that they could just increase the weapon ranges to fix the problem as well. That wouldn't help, because the issue is that all of the fighting would happen, like all of the fights that would happen would be basically just jousting at that point, because you would just go forwards full speed at the target, try to clip him and try to kill him whilst he's trying to kill you, and then you're going to pass each other, you're going to charge your shields, you're going to turn around, and then you're going to do it again. And it's just like, that's boring, that's not immersive, it's stupid, it's blah.
That didn't work. Like take me on a journey. What were the other things we tried to fix before we got to master modes?
I will be disappointed. Legion, also welcome. Okay.
So we tried like nerfing things based upon.
Did they say that they're going to release it like
shields? I think at the time
in 2 years from now.
And just trying to make the tuning work as well. It's like we looked at what we needed to get from the ships as well, and we just couldn't. Like, nothing really felt right in what we were trying to do. It just felt like we were solving one problem over here, but it was creating another problem over here.
What's up, Starbuck?
And that's the real difficulty with this problem, was we had to come up with something what, I'm not going to say solved everything, but it solved the majority of the issues without really causing another problem, which was the kind of loop we got into before with changing the way the shields work and the weapons and stuff. We just, we were always creating another problem with what we were trying to solve. And that's something we really, we definitely think we've avoided with.
What are you talking about? What 1,500 meters is the sweet spot for fighters? What? No. For fighters, the sweet spot is like 200 to maybe 400, 500 meters, and that's it.
I saw somebody.
Depends
on Reddit
just
a day or two ago about somebody was saying that master modes aren't even in Squadron 42 yet. They're not actively in testing. They are in Squadron 42. They are actively in testing. They are working now.
Yes. And we've been testing this for months now. So it's been actively in the game. We've been play testing ourselves on our own team, but we've also been testing with we've also been put out there, to the general studio as well. So we've
What's up,
definitely been
Doba?
in a really good feedback loop, and we're kind of really excited about that because the internal results for us have been really good and really positive.
Just so folks can get a timeline in their heads, you know, for all the folks who make their streams and their videos and everything, about how long ago did Master Modes, how long ago did the idea for Master Modes happen?
I think we're talking.
I'm gonna tell you, fucking 2018 or maybe even 17.
A good year and a half ago.
No. There's like these people that work in CG, like I don't know if they have fucking their blinders shut and they don't see the passing of a day, so they cannot count the fucking days that have gone by. But Jesus Christ, like they weren't calling them master modes, but they were talking about slowing down the ship speeds like 3 to 4 years ago.
I think it was. We started to really kind of realize we were in that kind of loop of problems. And we need a way out of that problem. So then we started discussing what can we do.
Yeah, anything over 200
yeah,
meters per second turns to jousting.
The basic early ideas were like, well, let's just not go very quick. But then it's like, well, we stop the A to B travel being fun and the speed being fun, because the speed is fun. It's really important for the general game.
Legion, so you would love if CAG made a poll on who wants a Squadron 42 still or not. So the issue is they have so many actors there that it will be a disaster not to release that game. Like Mark Hamill, fucking, but what was the other guy's name? Henry Cavill, Gillian Anderson, Gary Oldman, and you know all the guys. But imagine the outrage of the gaming community and of us, the backers, that were just like being not happy with the PU and Star Citizen for ages because they were focusing on Squadron 42 just not to release it in the end. That would be a disaster, honestly. But yeah, if you made a poll, you would see that most people do not care about Squadron 42.
It's really important for racing as well, that ships can go quickly because racing needs to feel like a challenge. So we started kind of just sitting down and going, right, how are we going to make this work? Because we've got this problem. If we limit speed, we've got this problem. What's the overarching solution to this?
So you said a year and a half ago.
Gimli from
was
water.
This a eureka-like moment? Is this one of those things where somebody was just in a meeting and they're like, holy crap, I got it? Or was this a contested issue? Was everybody on board?
The community told you what to do. The community said that we need to bring the speeds down for this to work.
First, or how did this come about?
Fucking
Walk me
4
through
or
the
5
history.
years ago.
What was this like when this was coming up?
It was interesting because we were never going to be able to stop the high speeds in the game.
Legion, that is true.
So we knew we had that problem. And I would say it was a sort of a eureka moment, but also we faced some challenges trying to get this through as well. So it's kind of like, yes, we've got a really cool idea, but we've got these problems to solve. So,
what was the problem? I mean, you had a problem getting master modes into the game approved? Is that what you're saying? Or?
Yeah, it was more like just...
So for all of you that just joined the leaks, and you can see that in my community channel, said that Wave 1 is tonight or Monday, but tonight was in capital letters. Source was internal, like one internal guy from CAG, and 3 reliable third parties. And these leaks never lie. So it's either tonight or on Monday.
Because it's such a major change.
Hopefully it's going to be tonight.
Convince people it wasn't going to break racing. It wasn't going to break man. It wasn't going to break all the other systems we have in the game because it's so fundamental to the way ships work. Because because we're literally saying we've got a combat mode where these systems work. We've got a navigation mode where these systems work, and it's such a fundamental.
What are you talking about? When did they hire Carrie Fisher? They never hired Carrie Fisher. Not that I know of.
Fundamental change to the game. It has to be approved by
I never heard about
people. Which is never easy. Because everyone is trying to look after their features, which is the right thing to do. So it was definitely a challenge trying to convince other teams as well that this is going to be the best solution for everyone for the game moving forward.
And I have to imagine a part of the reason why it's not immediately into the precision.
She is listed as a part of the cast. Where?
These other. gameplay features.
Could you drop me a link in my
it's quite
community
challenging
channel
to develop because
in Discord, please?
one, it's going to Squadron first, so it's a single player focus first.
What's up,
in terms of getting this through, but we've also had to develop, but also to move it to the PU, it needs to be fully developed for the multiplayer, and also due to the and also due to the resources we have to, we are dependent on the DAM streams as well.
Jack, you're such a come on. Like, people call me fucking negative. What are you then? We are excited for the PTU because we're gonna see what this game is gonna look like for the next, I don't know, year probably. So that's why we're excited, because we had nothing in a year.
As well, and because of the Squadron focus, the DAM streams have been prioritized.
Oh, so yeah, Sandy is in the game. Yeah, Carrie Fisher is not.
What's the testing been like, Yogi?
Testing? Well, so as Rich said, there was like no eureka moment, right? Like usually when we
look, okay, I don't know about the Sandy's acting skills, so I can't testify on that. I can't say that she's good or not. I don't know. I don't care. If she's good in the game, I don't care if she's the daughter of or the wife or whatever of the producer or the CEO of the company. I honestly do not care. But imagine yourself being in Chris's shoes and being the CEO and making a game, and wouldn't you want, if you love someone and you think they're great, you're probably gonna think they're great, wouldn't you want to immortalize that person in a PC game or in whatever you're doing? For example, I am still heartbroken that my grandmother, that was basically raised me like she was my mother, I'm still heartbroken that I never actually sat her in front of a microphone in my studio and made a recording of her, I don't know, just reading out children's books or whatever. So I would have her voice forever. So yeah, why not? Why is that an issue? I don't see an issue with that. I see another a ton of other issues with Star Citizen and CNG and Chris and in general, but I don't see an issue behind that. I don't want to be a white knight here, but come on, guys.
develop stuff like that, we're going step by step in our iterative processes. It was easy to identify
this guy has an Easter egg
that
on
slow
his
speed
head.
combat works a lot better simply by limiting the velocities ourselves, right? Suddenly the geometry and so on looked a lot better. So when you say testing, it actually covers quite a lot of time from checking what do we do with the velocities, how do we actually limit the velocities when you go above boost and so on, right? Because what never felt good was, for example, just boosting to your maximum SCM velocity and then being stuck there, being stuck in that maximum velocity in all directions was one of the problems why combat felt stale, right? Because you couldn't just
what's up, dude?
it doesn't allow you any more any interesting tactics. So and so
it's still gonna be the same. For us that knew how to slow down and shoot each other, it's still gonna be the same, and it's just whatever. Honestly, face tanking in a game is just dude, I would rather play Overwatch than do this. I don't know. We're gonna see how it works out, but I don't really see this this change being that good. But we will see. Also, whoever said that, who was talking about the Gen 12 renderer and you being psyched about that? Hop into my community channel. I dropped a link in the general chat this morning where, I don't know, a developer got interviewed about Gen 12 and how much it actually does. And the short story is that it's a 10% better, basically, and that's it. At the best.
Adding stuff like the post boost or the above SEM boost boundaries and all that. Making sure that the boost is applied in a non-spheric way, but it's actually more egg-shaped. So you basically when you boost backwards, you burn a lot more energy than you go forward. Which
I can
which-
understand that, Harrison. Honestly, I can understand that. I mean, I understand your perspective there. I don't know. As far as I know, she got booted out of the marketing team, or she just left. I don't know how it worked, but I know that she was possibly the only one that always said that you do not need to buy any ships, just get a starter package and don't buy anything else. So I mean that's a huge plus in my book.
just forces you to,
I'm not
go
going to
through your
defend
target
her
and
or
turn
Chris.
around
I don't care.
and all these things,
I'm just saying.
we just went through step by step. I mean, it's not like we're like living under a rock or so. Like we read and watch YouTube videos of like so many backers or players, I should say. And there's like hours and hours of like dogfighting analysis, and like we looked through it all, and like a lot of these points were actually true. So we kind of like
What's
build
up,
our
Kiwi?
requirement list out of that, and then we just try to go there step by step. And testing is basically we have testing slots every week. Sometimes like last 2 weeks were horrible in this regard because the builds were just like crashing on some other parts. But I mean, this happens. But we just test the game every week with our PET friends. So that's like Bayer's team, and then we just went to there, and we knew we were on the right track when at some point we were like, it was like a couple of months ago, we were like just fighting with master modes around, and one of the PT guys was critical about one specific aspect. It wasn't really important, right? And then I was a little bit insecure, just asked, but do you like the master mode system in general? And they were like, oh yes, of course we like it. Yeah. Right. So this gives us like enough confidence to know that we're on the right track. And like the process itself with the testing works, right? We just like slowly go step by step to the solution that we would like to see.
So
I can tell you this, Green Shield. Soul to Mike streams are like you can almost in every stream you can see one of the CAG devs there. And the issue is, and he's gonna tell you this like himself, like they don't really engage with the public until somebody says that they're doing great and like they're doing a great job, and then they say thank you, and that's it. It's not all of the times, but that's how it mostly works out.
that's some background. That's some how we got here. Let's just.
And I know that they are
some of the
visiting other
specifics about
streamers.
Stuff. Since the presentation, folks have had a lot of questions. We've
And it's
seen
mostly
tons of
streamers,
questions in
not the
Spectrum,
YouTubers that much.
and those YouTube videos and the Twitch streams that Yogi was just talking about. We've seen this come up in conversations and stuff. So one of the big ones that I've seen is the switch between the modes themselves. Because
Steve,
it can't be too.
They just said that they were talking about slowing down the ships for a year and a half, and I remember that they were talking about that like 4 years ago.
Easy. If you switch back and forth on a dime, there's no reason to have the two. Part of what makes the two dynamic is this transition between them. So let's talk about that transition. How long are we talking? Is the length of time dependent on different ships or different ship types? And is the length of time something that can be
this is important.
Adjusted through the use of components and tuning?
Let me get my smoke
what
so
are
I
we thinking here?
can chill.
So there is a
No. I gotta light up my cigarette first. Just for this answer. Okay, let's try it.
Dependent on different ships or different ship types, and is the length of time.
Let's try not to get fucking pissed off now.
One day adjusted through the use of components and tuning and stuff. What are we thinking here?
So there is a time difference. It is ship based, but it can also be component based as well because you've got the shields going up and down. Because we didn't want you to be able to press a button, doom, gone, and you're just in different modes. Because we want the player to make that key choice when they're in when they're in the master mode for combat, for example. We want them to be in that combat mode because they want to do that.
Okay, so they're talking about how long it takes to switch from mode to mode. Jesus Christ, okay. Okay. Well, I just want to get to the when question, basically. They were talking about this since the first Flight Modder rework. Yeah, basically.
But there's consequences to that, and it's the same with flying navigation mode without the shields. there's a choice to that you can go fast and you're just doing your A to B stuff for Star Citizen and you don't want to get involved in combat. So there is that consequence of you can't just press a button and it's instant.
You're already pissed off.
So if you go from combat mode, for example, to navigation mode, your shields will have to go down, and then to go back, your shields will have to go back up. But it's not an instant thing, and it will vary depending on the it will vary depending on the components as well.
That adds so much tactical choice, though.
What is my headset? My headset is, I didn't really listen to this. My headset, it's not a headset, it's like studio grade headphones. Neumann NDH20. They're really expensive. I just got them from my studio.
Combat mode, for example, navigation mode, your shields will have to go down, and then to go back, your shields will have to go back up. But it's not an instant thing, and it will vary depending on the it will vary depending on the components as well.
That adds so much tactical choice, though. It's now during fights or during attacks, you're being raided by a pirate or whatever. It's not just flip a mode and get out. You have to determine when the best time is going to be. You have to know your ship.
Why is he saying it now? Because like we're not going to get this in the next patch.
Precisely how long it's going to take your ship versus their ship to make these switches.
Thank you, Referral.
It opens up the door for tons of customization with the ships between the different components and the tunings and such, so that we like there are many like it, but this one
Tunings of the ships are not in the game.
is mine. It's going to allow people to fine tune their ships and have a reason to do so.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and that's the great thing about this is it gives the player choice. And that's something we're really keen for is like we provide.
What are those though?
But we provide the choices within that as well, and that's really key for us. As a gameplay team, is players have those choices. Because people
honestly,
play the game for all kinds of different reasons. There's some people like to go out there.
I have I'm anticipating to be completely devastated, but like I'm sitting here and getting scared.
And
it's such a small thing, though.
All your guns blazing, for example, and they can do that. But if they do that, the other players are going to know that they're in that mode, and they're all guns blazing. So it's a disadvantage to that because they're going to be more aware that that person's in that mode.
Do we know what happens if you switch modes at super high speeds? Like if you're in nav mode and you're traveling at the fastest speed possible, and then you suddenly switch over.
So you slow down very aggressively and your face almost comes off.
Promise?
Expand style.
I'm at home.
Yeah, but it's going to be
Fuck
very
y'all.
aggressive. It can be a very aggressive slowdown from that speed. And that's another thing. That's going to be a critical choice if you have to do that.
Also, I'm a
Your reason that you've done
Reebok.
that.
How do you pronounce that? We call it Reebok or Reebok. I don't know. Reebok Classic, basically. White
But
ones.
There's going to be a consequence to it.
It's actually quite interesting because like when we tested that first, the decelerations we got were like up to like 50, 60 Gs, something like that, right? So that's obviously nothing that you can survive easily, right? But
Excuse me, what?
When we tested that first, the decelerations we got were like up to like 50, 60 Gs, something like that, right? So that's obviously nothing that you can survive easily, right? But we didn't see this effect because our GeForce tuning doesn't react to like decelerations that are taking that short amount of time. So basically nothing happened. But what we actually want to achieve is like when you do an unhealthy, like if you flip the switch too fast and maybe even like take into account that you might have like eyes out Gs, right? Then this is supposed to like knock you out, right? But that specific part is not in, but it is.
No, 50, 60 Gs would kill you, not knock you out. That would kill you straight up.
Actually want to slow down, so you cannot just like single like click a flip and then flop back to SCM or so. There will be consequences for that.
But also like when we exit the quantum drive, we have like fucking 1,000 Gs slowdown. So
Again, that's part of the reason for the switch to dev focus on Squadron 42. The idea is you can hammer these things out and you can develop these further there.
Sure.
And make their way.
Sure, Jared. Yeah.
That is.
We know that.
Hopefully they'll have things like
they're focusing on Squadron 42 because of us, because of the backers, because of the PU, because it's easier there, because they can tune in there, so they can give us the things in the PU, so we can see that it's completely broken, because it's made for a fucking single player game.
Because there's been a rather renewed focus on racing. We added the Snake Pit in the last patch. In 3.18, we've got 6 brand new community racetracks that are being added. We've got the new timers in the UI and the gateway.
He's talking about timers like it's something fucking extraordinary.
Folks who follow the public roadmap. Shout out to Jake.
The dude, if you're talking about Yogi, he has track AR. Like he said, I have one here.
Know that there are changes and improvements to Arena Commander, especially the racing coming there. So there's a lot of new.
The issue with my track AR is that it has a cable. So it's here. It has a cable and it's short and it needs to be connected with a cable. So what he has is like a external battery plus thing that communicates with the receiver, because this thing is just sending the IR.
New racing stuff coming in Star Citizen. Nav mode. Let's ask a question. Are we considering, or would we consider a third master mode specifically for racing? Something that would get us.
What? There's gonna be nav mode now? For racing? What?
The speed and the maneuverability without any.
Dudes, like this is what I talked about in my last stream. They seem like they do not know what they're doing. Like they're constantly changing their statements and like. Do they have anything written down and like, okay, these are the sizes of the people, therefore the cockpit needs to be this size, and the NPCs need this much to pass through ships, therefore we're gonna make them larger, etc., etc. Like, what happened with the Cuddy, with the Avenger series, with the Hull series, like why the Hull C is not in the game, because it was too small for the NPCs and even for the players, etc. And then you had the SU boxes that what weren't really SU boxes before, and then they standardized the 1 SU to be that size, but still we have some ships that cannot accept those, etc., etc., etc. And then we get to like, okay, we were working on this for the past year and a half, and we still have no idea how many modes we're gonna have. What?
The weapons, the shield, there's fantastic stuff coming in Star Citizen. Nav mode. Let's ask a question. Are we considering, or would we consider a third master mode specifically for racing? Something that would get us the speed and the maneuverability without any of the weapons, the shields, stuff like that? Because it doesn't seem like, I don't know if either one of these ones that we're talking about seem totally ideal for racing. But maybe that's just me, I don't know.
No, it's a good point. So
the SCM mode should be enough. You have a boost.
It actually came up from about basically from one of our playtests, is what happens to racing, because the speeds that we were hitting for, cool. That's what he has. Were probably just not enough to make racing feel exciting. So, and then it's actually had like a fundamental impact on the choices we've made with the design for master modes, is to make sure that racing works. So,
what a funny thing is, Harrison? I have an almost blind eye here, and I'm not gonna turn it.
We've got boost now, which works outside of the actual combat mode. It might work a little bit differently, but we're going to have boost outside of the combat mode now, and that's come specifically from racing and the needs of racing. Because I say, we're building lots of different worlds now where racing is possible. We're actually doing a lot more support for racing now to build it officially within the game, because it's come from the community. They're the ones making all these interesting levels out the worlds that we build, and now we're going, right, we're going to start making this, as part of the actual game, so we have to support this. And part of this big process of master modes was the roles, and we want the racing ships to be, racing ships, so they're going to be very, they're going to go very quickly still, they're going to be light, they're going to be agile, you're not really going to want to do combat. Even if they come with weapons, you're probably not going to really want to take them in combat. But they're going to make. But the balance for us is making sure they're quick enough to escape, but there's still that risk there in combat.
All right, so we might get some of what I'm talking about through components and tunings for racing specific ships.
Yeah.
All right. And then the boost change that you were talking about. Okay.
But if you do that, then you got to take off the guns from the M50 because it's going to be the new meta, right?
There's a bit more to it though, right? Because like one of the things, so the
Nav mode, SCM mode, quantum mode, boost mode, pledge mode, concept mode, strewn mode. Yep.
the SCM mode is supposed to be the high performance mode that you're in, but like racing doesn't work well when the velocities are too low. And there are actually like some sequences from the squadrons team as well, and where they want like racing like structures, right? So we are looking at this very deeply. The thing that might probably change, or what we're currently testing there, is whether or not the capacitor systems have a little bit of a different power output. So where you can, for example, regenerate your boost pool in SCM within, maybe 10 seconds or whatever, right? It will take considerably longer when you are in the nav mode, but it just like frees really like a lot of more potential to do fast racing. So you basically you select, do you want to go fast and have like take care of your boost pool, or do you want to like risk going into the slower speed but then get rewarded with a higher boost regeneration? It will be along these lines. This is currently in testing. This is actually the thing we wanted to check last week, which where the builds were busted. So we'll like no definitive answer how that will look, but we'll figure it out. It will just be part of the normal like testing iteration.
Yeah, I imagine that the challenge is still going to be the same though, that the more speed tools you put into SCM for racing, people are going to attempt to use them during dogfighting and stuff. So that's why I guess in my brain it seems like, oh, there should be a third master mode for racing and stuff like that. But I trust you guys who are the engineers and the designers and stuff like that.
Yeah. So far we don't see that this is necessary. What we'll do is just like make race a little bit more flaky compared to like comparable dogfighters, because right now, for example, the M50 and the PU is a really, really good dogfighter. This is not intended, right? So there has to be some downsides to that. You cannot be like, we always have to balance like the defensive, offensive, and agility requirements of every ship, and you can't have a ship which is good at everything. So and then we'll see how that goes. But I would expect that like the combat effectiveness of racers in the future will decrease. Not saying they're useless, but they will. I mean, these are racers. These are not brawlers, right? Like.
I hear you. So since we revealed master modes at CitizenCon, you mentioned you're watching the YouTube, watching the Spectrum and stuff like that. What kind of feedback have you seen so far?
We've seen a lot, both good, but also there's a lot of questions, and I think that's the main thing is there's been a lot of questions about how does it affect this? How does it affect this? And what you're doing to, combat this problem, which, the community think is going to happen because of combat modes. But we've been doing a lot of testing to make sure that
they've seen a lot of comments, both good. That's what he said. So basically I'm unsure that they're actually watching any of the videos that criticize them, or if they're even like considering listening to the critiques, especially the ones that I made, or that Avenger 1 made, or any other guy that is scared about changing the modes because we don't know how that's going to work, because they never told us how that's going to work. Like they only told us like gave us the bare bones of the whole mechanic. So what I said, if you didn't watch the video, so you're going to have 3 modes, one of which is going to be the quantum jumping. You're going to have the QCM modes. I don't know what they're calling them like now. I don't fucking care, but they said QCM is going to be the fast mode, or where you're going to go above the SCM speeds, or 200 meters per second plus, so like up to the like the limit of your ship, like 1,000 meters per second, whatever. Depends on the ship. And then you're going to have the SCM mode where you're going to fight. And in the SCM mode, you're going to have the shields and the weapons on. But once you switch to the QCM mode, your shields are going to go down and your weapons are going to be disengaged. Okay, that is understandable for the guy that's running. You don't want that guy to have an opportunity to run away with his shields and regenerate his shields and all of that. And there's going to be like a like, I don't know, like, how do I explain it? Like, once you switch from the SCM to the QCM mode, there's gonna be like a time delay, right? So that's gonna take some time, like 2-3 seconds. So once your shields are down, you're probably gonna get killed, right? But also, why would they do that when they can just make the QCM speeds act like you're flying a plane? So you can go forwards, bang to the left and right, etc. It doesn't matter. But you can't like go into the decoupled and back strafes and do like maneuvers like that, because that's just stupid. So if they made that and they turned off the shields and they still had the weapons on, that would be much better, because then we would have some dogfights that would resemble fights like in Star Wars or in World War II, where you would have like a guy behind you shooting you, and you're trying to like bank and just like get away from the guy. And then you have your ship that's either faster than the guy behind you or slower, but it has turrets and you can shoot backwards, etc. So you would still have a chance to survive. But if you introduce the delay and you turn off your weapons and your shields, you're just gonna die. And like, there is no backing up from a fight or trying to get a fight into another a type of a situation like the World War II dogfight situations, which I like because I'm a DCS player. I'm a World War II nerd. I'm a Star Wars nerd, and I know that I would do much better with the maneuvers that I have learned throughout the years of playing. I don't know, War Thunder, IL-2, DCS, etc. All of those sims. I know that I would do much better in like that mode, and I would be, I don't know, more proficient in that mode than in the SCM mode, where you have face tanking and basically no tactics or strategy to it. You just need to be on your target the whole time, and you need to, like, I don't know, do a couple of maneuvers so he misses a couple of shots, and that's it. So that was my concern and my idea that I like. Once they talked about this in CitizenCon, like tomorrow, I dropped a video with that. And I still stand behind that, and I think that that would be better, because some people would like to fight in that mode, and that mode could be more immersive than just like face tanking like we have right now in SCM speeds, when you're like slowed down and you're finding a guy, which they're going for. Like, they're going for that instead of going for the other thing that, like, I don't know, Star Wars Squadrons has, which, like, yes, you will have jousting maybe at that point, but also probably not, because the turning circles of the ships are not going to be the same. So therefore, like, if you ever played DCS or any other actual sim, you will know how to cut a turn, how to do some maneuvers to cut a turn, and how to out-turn or outmaneuver your opponent. And that's much like immersive and much more fun to do than just face tanking. Because every fight is going to be different, because maybe the other player does not know what the specs of his ship are. So he's going to try to raid fight you. He's going to try to turn with you in a freelancer, for example, and you're in an arrow, and you're going to like cut his turn, and you're going to be on his ass again. So there are some like strategies to that, and you can do some other stuff to not let it happen. But if we had that, that would be fun. But no, they're going for the face tanking, and once you switch to QCM mode, your shields are down, the weapons are down, and you cannot defend yourself. If you manage to run away and stay in the QCM and you're not dead yet, the guy that's following you, he can just follow you. He can't shoot you. And that's it. He can just like sit on your back, and you're just like, yeah, sure, hi, hello. He cannot fire missiles. He can't do shit. And he just needs to wait for you to drop out of QCM to hop into SCM mode again, so he can shoot you. I think that that's really stupid.
we don't just fulfill our own prophecy of going, right, we'll fix this. So the testing has also been, kind of outside of our little remit a little bit, which is...
they're calling QCM nav mode now, whatever.
We've play tested this on the basis that what a player's feeling, when they actually, play master modes.
See, jousting, Legion, jousting in World War II style or like any actual plane-to-plane combat game or in real life is not really jousting, because you can't joust and just like turn around and go back again full speed and go back again. I don't know if you can see this on the camera. I think my hands were a bit too high. Let me switch to this angle. So jousting is not going to happen like in Star Citizen. You have one circle fights and you have two circle fights. And in those, like, you're making circles with your planes, right? And at one point, if you do a maneuver or if your rates are better than the other plane, you're going to have... you're going to be on the tail of that guy that you're fighting, because you have two circles. It's not a line that you joust and you turn around and then you joust again, right? So that's why DCS, War Thunder, I don't play that for a long time. I didn't play that. But that's why those games are better.
It's the
because
PvE slider. They just run and play in nav.
It's the PvE slider. Thank you for the $2, John. But yeah, it is basically the PvE slider. And I don't like that. Honestly, I do not like that. So how are the pirates going to intercept and kill people? Like, is the quantum... what is it called? The thing on the RSI, Mantis. Quantum enforcement device. Like the snare. Is it going to snare them and keep them in the SCM mode? So, like... What if you don't have a Mantis to snare people? Or to, like... Because this is going to... Like, imagine a situation, you being on a planet, wanting to pirate a guy, and you see him landing, he's picking up stuff. Maybe he did, like, a GRC run with, like, the Renegades rock, and he got a bunch of headonite inside of it, whatever. And... Okay, you've been into World War II sims since 1999. Yeah, so you understand that, like, there's a difference between this jousting and one circle and two circle fights. But what I wanted to say is, so imagine a situation, you're a pirate and you want to pirate a guy that's on. He landed on the planet. He's in the armistice zone. He's picking up stuff. It doesn't matter. He has some cargo that you want, and then you want to attack him. You wait for him to get outside of the armistice zone. You're about to attack him, and he's in the nav mode or the QCM mode, whatever you want to fucking call it now, and he just goes. And the only thing that you can do is follow him. And that's why this is bad. Like, do you need a Mantis so he can't switch into the nav mode or the QCM mode? Is that how it's going to work? Like, I don't fucking understand it.
Been a big focus of ours. And I think it's going to be difficult to answer a lot of the questions.
Also, with some actual physics in this game and inertia and like the planets having actual gravity, like, and ships having actual mass, you would see much more DCS-like or World War II style like maneuvers in planets, like the Hammerhead maneuver and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And we actually show the results. Because that's what we're really excited about, is we're excited about the results from this. And what we've seen internally has been really positive. Things are much closer, and the difference which we want in the systems, both in terms of the components and the weapons on the ship.
Captain Mudd said, the snare will always pull a ship from quantum travel or boost, I reckon. Pointless if not. I mean, yeah.
And the style of ship you have. And making much more of a difference in those in those key moments, but that's just something that we're just going to have to prove out.
Right. No, I mean, I can already see the response to what you just said is, well, then put it into the PU and let us see it, and let us experiment. But it's going to stay in Squadron 42 for a while. just so it can do all the internal testing, so that it can be very focused. We talked about it in the DCC thing, so you can focus on these specific ships and get these done before you have to expand it to all of the ships of the PU.
Yeah, and that's the big thing for us is this is a lot of work. So like releasing the PU, it's a massive feature for us because it changes almost every single component in the game. It changes every single ship in the game as well, from both a ship performance.
Yeah, me too, John. I'm
so we're
very
sure
worried
that ship is
about this.
within its performance window, but also its health as well, and just how it behaves in the game. It does, we've got way over 100 ships now you can fly in the game, and that takes a lot of testing and a lot of tuning to do. So, and also we've got a lot of multiplayer testing to do. We've got to make sure it looks correct so the players understand the master modes on the UI. So there's a lot of work to bring this feature together, but we've got the fundamental feature together in terms of S42 now. It's in there. You can change all the speeds, but that's on a very limited amount of ships and on a very limited amount of components right now. So to get it into PU is a lot more work because we don't just want to release this like work in progress and say, right, this is on like 5 ships right now. Go try it. It's just
All right, I don't want to talk about DCS, but Legion, you're wrong. Like the F-18, it is complex as fuck. It's not too easy. It's not lock and shoot. It's much, much different than that. You gotta manage your ship and your components and the systems inside of it to get a lock so you can actually fire a missile. It's not that easy. It's not like War Thunder. It's not like the Flaming Cliffs module for DCS.
just not something we can do because it's so fundamental to the entire component structure we have in the game.
And you just
Can we
confirmed
start a
only
rework
5 ships
counter?
in Squadron
Yeah.
42.
No.
We probably
no,
should.
No. Just to add to this point, right? There are also heavy downstream dependencies because right now most of the master mode UI, for example, is beautiful coder art. And if you ever saw coder art, it's not, well, it's very simplistic, right? And it doesn't.
It's wonderful, Yogi.
It doesn't
Your
respect.
artwork's amazing.
It does respect the aesthetics that certain other people in the company would like to see. So if we could, like, it's functionally working, right? It's but it wouldn't be fun at the moment in the PU because A, we only have tuned a couple of ships for it, and B, like most of the UI or of the nice UI is missing. So and there's a couple of other things in the PU as well, which don't add up yet well, because, for example, travel distances, we likely would need to travel or tune them slightly different for squadrons versus a PU. Because in the PU, you're gonna visit, like, you're gonna freely jump from planets to planets. That's not strictly always given in the frame that squadrons gives you, right? So
Did he just said? Did he just say that Squadron 42 is on rails? Did I understand that correctly?
PU. Because in the PU, you're gonna visit, like, you're gonna freely jump from planets to planets. That's not strictly always given in the frame that squadrons gives you, right? So it will be a while until players can see it. But when we're ready, we're not like throwing it probably right in. We will try to test in, like, within the Evocati groups and so on to get feedback whether or not it's working in the PU, and then do adjustments before we release it to the wider public.
All right.
Okay, I'm depressed now. Why the fuck are we talking about this now? I mean, I knew that it's not gonna be in 318, right? But I was hoping, like, maybe 319. Maybe they're gonna tell us, okay, next patch, not this one, but next patch. For fuck's sake.
So
dude.
it'll be a while before it comes to the PU. We're just about out of time. We're going to let you go and move on to the next half of the show. But before we do, any last things you want to leave the Star Citizen community with? Any last words you want to say? Last niblets they can hang on to while they wait?
We're really excited for the players to get it out. I do understand the frustration hearing that it's not going to be immediately. One of the next
Yeah, think.
releases, but it'll be.
Elite Vodka. I love that name. Yeah, so sorry, I'm a bit depressed because of the news. But so we got a leak, and you can hop into my community channel. You can see that And these leaks are always right. And the leak said wave 1 is tonight, capital letters, or on Monday, but maybe even tonight. The sources were one internal, so a CAG dev, and reliable third-party sources that, like 3 of them said that. So, yeah, tonight or on Monday. I guess we're waiting, and we'll see if it's going to happen tonight. If not, we're going to play a bit Star Citizen like the PU, and that's it.
Be worth it. And I hope we can kind of, keep, kind of revealing more and show more of the actual real-world results of this in the game for us, because that's, because we're really excited about it. It's just the fundamental amount of work it's going to be is a lot. But yeah.
What is the depressing news? The depressing news is that like we just watched 43 fucking minutes of this of the modes, the flight modes that we knew about already, and then they said that they have no idea when we're gonna get that. They're still not even like they're testing it out, probably just on the Gladius, and that's it. And they don't have the HUD elements for that. They don't have anything. It's not gonna be like happening anytime soon. So yeah. What's up, Randall?
Yeah, and also thanks for the support. We do read a lot of the feedback. We do watch a lot of the videos, and not just the streamers, but we watch a lot of videos that people just share in the game as well. That players are having a great time. So we do spend a lot of time watching that stuff.
I'm sorry, one last question. I asked you this during the filming. We've been several months on. I asked you the simplest question, like, do we finally have it? Do we really have it? Is this really it? I'm going to ask you again, has your answer changed? Is this it?
This is it. This is everything.
All right, somebody clip this, store it in a folder for when it gets released, and then like 3 to 6 months afterwards, they're going to say that they need to rework it. Just clip this, and that there's going to be a rework. Because in the end, they're probably going to realize what I said, like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago when I was talking about the second mode, the nav mode, or the QCM mode, and that the shields shouldn't be down. The shield should be down, but the weapons should not be down, so we can have a different fight environment and all of that. So, yeah, just clip this and store it for later.
All right. All right, so Rich, Yogi, thank you so much for taking your time to be here on Star Citizen Live. We're going to take a short break, and when we get back, somebody we haven't seen in a while. Stay tuned.
All right, so this is the community thing, and I'm gonna play some music and talk to you guys until this thing ends. We can keep it in the stream. I'm not gonna play this because they have copyrighted music, and I don't want to get fucking banned off of YouTube. I feel bad for the regular workers at CAG. Watching videos is better than developing the game. These shows are pointless. Yeah, videos don't have bugs. Are you sure about that? You sure about that? Did you see the video from yesterday? The IC, like they showed 2 ships going through atmosphere because they were talking about the sound, and you would see the ground, and you will see like the rocks that are 10 meters off the ground just levitating there around the place, not just in one spot, but around the fucking place. Rework work streams get reworked. Yep. Rework mode confirmed. So will it come today? Like fuck if I know. The leak said today or Monday. If not, like we're gonna play a bit of the PU. We're gonna continue the bug counter, and we're gonna see how many bugs were we suffering through for the past year. And then, no, it's not really a year. It's from April up until now. So most of the year. Play us a guitar song. I can't play my own songs that are they're all copyrighted, so I'm gonna get a copyright strike from my own publisher. So if I do that, the stream might get taken down. These instrumentals that I'm using are just instrumentals that I never sold to anyone. Oh, you just ordered some merch? Nice. Why didn't I get a notification for that? That's weird. Grumpy content is a game loop. Trailer of gameplay that will literally never happen. I watched this video, and this video is amazing, but like... yeah, I don't see this happening anytime fucking soon or ever in Star Citizen. Especially not like this many people on one side, because the whole video is just like filming one side and you don't see the other side. They're just shooting nothing. They're just basically shooting nothing for the video, and then like the video ends and that's it. It's a great production of a video, the great fucking editing, great camera work and all of that, but still. Do we know if CAG's employee wages are competitive? Well, you have Legion Victrix in the chat here, and he can tell you because he applied for the job. I'm not going to say anything. Legion, take it over. Legion is working for Ubi, by the way. So he can tell you... well, he's probably not going to tell you exactly, but like... after he tells you, I'm going to tell you what I know. Mile wide and 1 inch deep. The game looks amazing, but so do cutscenes. Yeah. On private servers, we're not going to get private servers. The private servers were supposed to be a thing during... what's it called? The Kickstarter phase of the game. Because... I don't know if this is too loud. No, it shouldn't be. Because... the scope of the game was much smaller back then, and the idea was to have like planets that you would just click on and you will land on the point of interest or on the landing zone there, and that's it. Oh, you didn't see the salary, Legion? Ah, okay. I thought you said that you applied to, for the job. Okay. So, I can tell you what I know. Is this it? Are we continuing here? Or are they gonna play more commercials? Okay, this is Sandy. All right. So let me just say this. Go to... I forgot the name of the... what's it called? The website. I'm not like... I'm not a dev, so I don't fucking care. But... I saw a website that it's really famous and a bunch of people knew it, where like ex-employees review like whatever company they worked for, and there they can say like about this, like what their salary was, were they happy with it or not, and like they're asking for jobs there, etc. Like it's basically their CV, but they can also review their old workplace. I forgot the name of the website. Maybe some Glassdoor. Thank you. So go to Glassdoor and check out the reviews, and you tell me if people are happy there and if they're happy with the salaries. Anyway.
I just heard a piece of information during the break that I wasn't prepared for. Joining us on the show right now is someone who perhaps needs no introduction, but we're going to do it anyway. One of the original founders of Cloud Imperium Games way back when, Sandy Roberts. Sandy, how you doing? Welcome.
Thank you.
It's been so long.
I'll give you an e-hug. Yeah.
Welcome back to the spaceship.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm happy that I can actually be on it this time. Last time you were shooing me off, saying, "Go away, no spoilers."
So the last time she shows up, we were still under construction. And if you follow Sandy on Twitter or other social medias, she's got a rather prolific presence there, and she starts taking pictures, and I'm just like.
I know.
Please,
like, no.
please.
No pictures.
Not before CitizenCon, not before CitizenCon.
You know.
And she was like, fine, but I have to come back.
Yes. So now I'm back.
Now
You
you're back.
invited me back. Thank you very much.
So what are you doing here? I mean, normally you're based out of the LA studio. That's where we worked together for so many years.
We did.
But you're known to travel a lot in your position.
I am. I travel a lot. And Chris is here all the time.
It's
so
Mom.
therefore-
So what brings you here?
Yeah, she hasn't
What brings
really
me here
aged.
now? Well,
She's still
What day
beautiful.
is it today? It's whatever day it is.
Yeah.
Yes. The other day we were we were at the Frankfurt Christmas party,
Okay.
And I got to see the new offices, which are
Shut up,
really
Bob.
nice, really nice. They did a really good job.
I haven't seen him yet.
I don't know a lot of people, so
There are a lot of new
there
faces.
are a lot of new faces.
You know, we talk about this, how the company has grown to like 800 plus folks, and it's impossible to keep up with all of the new faces. I come in and I'm just like,
Yeah, I did not know. Yeah, of course, Inez, Brian Chambers.
Harrison, what the fuck are you talking about? Honestly, what the fuck are you talking about? Robert said Gardiner, or however you pronounce her maiden name, had also visited Peterson's San Diego home and once became violent and then tried to strangle him. I believe that if she had a gun, she would have killed me, Robert said. Please, like, don't talk about that shit in chat if that is not confirmed. And even if it is, like, that does not have anything to do with Star Citizen. Dude, come on. What is that shit? Like, what? Huh? Anyway.
Hannes, who else was there? Oh, Todd moved here. Yep. But a few faces said hello. But wonderful offices. Christmas party was great. And then we went to a Bar Citizen.
It was a Bar Citizen in Frankfurt, or?
No. We went in Berlin.
Oh, in Berlin.
Yeah, my brain is, yes, we flew to Berlin, which was fantastic.
I think you you loaded Tom up with a picture before. Do we have a picture of the Bar Citizen in Berlin? Oh, wow, that was a big one.
It was a big one. We had, we kept it just over 100 people.
It's a true story. It's from Forbes.
Were able to
really?
talk to
All
everybody.
right, link it to me in my community channel. I want to see that. Please do. Just drop it in general chat or whatever, and tag me so I can see it because I'm streaming. But still, like, what?
Okay, all right.
He shook everybody's hand.
It's
I
not
waved.
like it's not
Yeah,
important.
He shook everyone's hand, and
Wow.
then we sat at each table. We did a Q&A. We signed lots of stuff, took lots of pictures. It's really good fun.
For those who may not be familiar, Bar Citizens are a wonderful initiative started by our own community to basically gather and break bread and tell tales with other Star Citizens. And then because we'd like, hey, that's pretty cool, you know, if they're local to an office, we would crash over the years. Recently this year, we started the Bar Citizen World Tour. Where we would send CIG staff and developers to all manner of places, cities, states, provinces, different countries around the world, on different continents.
You've been sponging above his weight.
How's that been? The Bar Citizen.
No, that's funny.
I have. Well,
No,
this was
that's
actually
funny.
The first one I've been to in a while.
Okay.
The original one, I don't know if you went to the original one, but it was created by myself and Alexis and Ben.
I also think that
And
she
that
was
was in
that she has been a positive force in the game, honestly. Mostly because, while she was running the marketing team, she always said that you should not buy any ships except the starter package, that you do not need any of those. And yeah, like, you can say whatever you want to. Like, I don't know about that thing that you're talking about in chat. Honestly, I do not care. I can check it out on the stream if you want me to. But like, that doesn't have anything to do with Star Citizen and the game and what we're watching right now.
2013.
Like, for example, I don't know, the first fucking thing that comes to mind is I just found out, I did not know, that, for example, Mike Tyson was in jail for rape. And he's a beloved fucking figure in the community in US and all of that. Huh? Does that mean that he was not a great boxer? No. Does that have anything to do with Star Citizen? No. Does this have anything to do with Star Citizen? No. So yeah. I'm being so misinformed. I'm not. I saw those fucking tweets, Jack.
I believe, in Santa Monica.
No, I was not.
Thank you, Harrison.
That was good fun. And that took off. We did Food Citizen. You came to that one.
We'll check it out afterwards.
That was a failure.
Sometimes we try things.
Yeah.
Sometimes we try
And
things.
they don't work. And
I'm not simping, dude. I don't care. I have a
I
girlfriend.
haven't been to a
first
bar
of all.
Well,
Secondly,
actually, I went to the one in Los Angeles. It
she's
was
much older than I am.
in the summer.
Thirdly,
So I was going to say,
Not
maybe
my
this
type.
hadn't been the first one you were
I-
at in the first while. So.
Yes. So that was the first one I'd been since the pandemic, and I saw a lot of LA folks I didn't recognize too. But a lot I did recognize.
That's what happens when the project grows.
I
There's
know,
more and more faces.
I know. It's not just me and Ben and Chris and Haddock and yeah.
Yeah, I want to go back to the Christmas to the holiday party a little bit.
Martha
You
Stewart
said
was
you were
in
there
jail.
with Brian Chambers.
I got to Google Martha Stewart. I know the name. I don't know
I heard
who
that
she
there's
is.
there's a photo of Brian actually smiling.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing, but we were posing, and I guess posing for the camera, and I guess Brian wasn't smiling.
American
Brian
retail
is
He was like,
businesswoman.
king
Chris
of
was
the
like,
stoic.
smile, smile, smile.
I mean, sure.
So
And you sent that to Tom too. Tom, do we have that? I haven't seen this yet. A smiling Brian Chambers. Wow.
yes, well, Aaron was smiling because it was snowing. They brought the snow for us, and Aaron had been outside drinking the.
Now, I expect some comments on this,
Glühwein. So he was quite happily smiling.
and those are funny.
But, and then somebody told me that the secret to drinking Glühwein is to eat the almonds. Then you don't get like a furry throat.
The rest of the
so-
video is just chit chat.
I
But
don't know,
what?
that was a pro tip. It may or may not work. I didn't try it, but
Anybody who chooses to take that advice and whether it works or not, we indemnify Cloud Imperium Games, Robert Space Industries,
Yeah,
and its
exactly. We
subsidiaries.
take no
Do not
responsibility
recommend
for-
that you
Yeah.
attempt
Let's
such a
check
thing.
if the
But maybe
PTU
it
is up.
works.
yeah.
All right, so
You guys tell
on
me
your
if the
way here, you
PTU
passed through Frankfurt, you
gets
passed
released.
through Berlin.
Yes.
Now you're here, though.
Now I am here.
So what brings you here?
What brings me here again is the new offices and also a board meeting. I'm on the board.
Speaking of Snoop Dogg,
so-
Felice, do you know that he got like incarcerated or arrested in UK when like I think it was the first time that he went there on a tour, and it was for like having an immense amount of weed, and who bailed him out? The Queen.
That's that big quarterly gathering where I see all the important people come by and they're just like, Jared,
Yes.
stay in the other room. And I'm like, okay,
Yes,
I'll stay away.
yes.
Don't scare the board members.
Yeah, of course, my daughters joke that it's called board for a reason. But
Who cares?
So that's why I'm here.
So that's the big quarterly thing that happens, and it's here in the Manchester office now.
It's here, yeah.
Gotcha.
Except that
now we haven't.
You
talked
honestly
about the
wouldn't
Frank-
mind her except for the way she treated Ben Lesnick and her staff. So what happened there?
Frankfurt office, the Manchester office. We haven't really shown any of this yet because we want to wait till it's totally dialed in.
From what I know, he got fired, right?
All the amazing wall art is up and everything. But
Or he just left?
because you've been and I haven't. Give me your impression of the Frankfurt office. What is it real? Is it really? I've seen photos of these weird pod things that you can sit in.
They look weird, but they're not weird.
The fuck are you talking
I
about?
sat in one, and they're like soundproofed little, very comfortable meeting rooms.
Where is Knight Rider? I need
Sit with
Knight
somebody
Rider
and
in
take a
chat
meeting.
right now.
I went into the meditation room and took a nap.
Okay.
They
you
have
got-
these sort of banana boat cushions, but you can also do other.
History and stuff.
We're gonna talk about fucking
when-
Star Citizen at all? Like this
Go
has nothing
well,
to do with Star Citizen.
But we weren't sure.
Mark, I watched Cost Galaxy way before I made the channel. I know that thing.
Did I tell you Chris was
Those,
singing
like, the
Chris is
series of
not
the
a great
videos.
singer, but he'd called me from Germany. Spoiler alert.
I didn't say it. You can laugh at it now,
I can
but
laugh at it
I imagine
now.
in it on day one.
It was it was horrifying. It was all that work, and then you're thinking, oh my gosh, and you're thinking people are going to go away and not come back because the world's so fast and fickle. But yeah, the first one, and then it just sort of snowballed from there. It kept going.
I just tagged Knight Rider in my community
you say
channel.
snowball from there. I've got a couple of stats here. I want to see if I can pull this out from the chat. So I mean, we now, of course, we've talked about how the company, the company has blown up to 5 studios around the world, 800 800 plus employees. I know I think I had a number here about how many Star Citizens we have, but there was over 36.
Jack, I saw Suncast Galaxy, and I know that a bunch of you guys want me to watch that on stream or whatever, but honestly, that thing is more like it's not. I'm trying to run objective channel here. Yes, I do get angry. I do get pissed off, but also I don't want to be malicious. And the issue is like with Suncast Galaxy is that most of it is just malicious, and it's not. It's just like I don't know how news reporting in like in US or Switzerland where you're from or Belgium it is like, but in here it's overly fucking malicious and in always skews things or just disregards some things. Like for example, we're gonna take a look at the Forbes article, whatever, but you never know what actually happened, right? Like all the media is just gonna fucking sensationalize everything. Jack, come on, dude. Like you can hate it or love it, but it is a bit malicious. Okay. I mean, we can watch it, and I can tell you why some things are malicious. But yeah.
Million hours.
All right,
played
Knight Rider.
in
I'm giving
2022
you
alone. Not over our lifetime.
10
hours
minutes
played in just this calendar year, the one that we're still not done with.
Of
and it
moderation.
averages to something like between the players
Go for
and
it.
the things, it's an average of 3 hours of playtime.
A day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it a day?
Yeah, and we're at 44 million now.
We're at 44 million. Oh, so, okay. Yep.
Come on, Jared,
There's
get
the
on
update.
it.
There's literally. I was reading the old message, and they're like, no.
just
it's
don't completely break my
so
stream,
3
Knight Rider,
hours
please.
a day at 44 million
Vrutu,
hours
the
played
leak
just
said
so far.
that
So yeah, it's not bad for a game.
the leak said that the wave 1 will happen either tonight or on Monday, and I'm hoping it's gonna be
Yeah.
tonight.
But
We'll see. I guess we'll see.
I see.
Um,
Yeah, I play with the girls. I'm not that great. They're so good.
I'm terrible.
I do all the dumb things, and then Mom, you don't do that. You
Jack,
gotta take your helmet off before.
Could you get your microphone close to your mouth
mean,
so
they're just-
we don't hear the room and we can watch this together on stream
Dirty secrets we
if you want to?
about.
So Jack is my friend, and we're having a
who
friendly.
make a game.
We're
Really
having
good at
a
the game
friendly
that they
argument
make.
here.
I think there's this weird expectation that if you're involved in the creation of a game, that you must be this excellent player at it. But I've seen more people. You know, I'm not talking about Star Citizen specifically. I'm talking about any of the places.
I think Knight Rider just woke up because nobody's
you spend
banned
all this
yet.
time making it, and then you actually sit down and try to play it, and it's like they're different aptitudes. They're dramatically.
Yeah, just don't ban anyone. Just like
So yeah,
do timeouts like
I was
last time.
hopeful. I when I got into
If
that
it goes
scene,
tonight, I'm gonna be streaming. Yeah, I'm streaming right now.
I completed my first.
I'm not gonna be streaming forever, though.
Horizon Speedway, ever.
Impressive.
I think the cap
really
for saving the
I
VODs
guess it
on
depends
YouTube.
how
This is
you
just
did it,
whatever, dude. Like they're talking about nothing.
So we were also so. What would you? I think we referred to you as. What would you call yourself? You're there. You're part of the.
What are you talking
the
about,
OG
Jared?
group. We were having this
know.
conversation off by.
Yes.
Is this original gangster?
OG.
What did you call? You
I
called
called it the old guard.
the old guard.
Yeah.
The original
Okay.
guard.
Yeah,
The-
original
the
guard. We could go
original
there.
I forgot what I was
But
talking
yeah,
about.
those early days of setting this place up. I mean,
I think Elon Musk should buy Star
right
Citizen
off
and
the
actually
bat,
make
not
stuff
too
and
shabby,
stop
not too
talking
shabby
about
for a, for a
some
team
out
of
of
only
context
handful of
stuff.
people back then.
Yes, there was. I mean, it was just so busy. I used to answer customer service tickets too.
I mean, do you really
I was
think that
talking to
Elon
Tyler
Musk
about
is
that.
the
In
guy
the
that
live
solves
stream,
everything
I
and
gave
does
people my
everything?
personal email.
Like I know that that's
on Thanksgiving.
something that
Exactly
like
what happened
follows
with
his
tickets.
persona and people think that, but that's really not
Definitely
true.
the worst leak any of us here in this building have ever been a part of.
Puppeteer, yeah, you can see it in the community channel. Just go to the leaks. You can see Pipeline just leaked that
The first one.
Wave 1 is going to happen tonight or Monday.
the first season. The
Sources,
first
1
season,
internal
13,
and
that
3
was in Austin.
reliable
That was in
third
Austin
parties.
at the Alamo.
So we're
And the
waiting for that,
Again, I was on a budget.
and also we are just chilling,
Marketing.
I guess,
It was
watching Sandy
a
and
lot
talking
of
about
community and a
stuff.
lot of just putting it together.
Excuse for Ben to watch the Wing Commander movie.
Yeah. So there was nobody there. Like we didn't have our own venue. We were sharing it with some finance guys who were like, "Whoa, what's Star Citizen?" And of course, we had some some backers there, and
So the
and
first
some
citizen
staff and-
is half video game players and
Yeah.
half accountants.
Yeah, you guys, he will definitely get him fired. But is that good?
So yeah, the first one, and then we had a
Like,
couple
how
of,
is Twitter doing right now?
Where do we have the other ones? Oh, the Manchester one. With the
I don't want to
Concord
turn the
thing.
streaming into like
The
talks about
Concord
Elon
plane
Musk,
that-
but
Oh my gosh! So
I have opinions
that
on
was
the guy,
my-
even though I
not my
don't
first
know
one,
him.
but,
And
first
then,
one
like,
when
why
I
would I
was
talk
inside.
about him?
And I'm
But
there
like, I can talk
monitoring,
about the things that he
chat-
does,
remember
and
chat roll? Who
the,
remembers
like
that?
how it
Yes,
Chat roll?
I remember.
looks like in the public,
watching people go crazy. They built
but,
an enormous
like, it's-
spaceship
it's
above the side.
not that
That's
simple.
The Concorde. But
Yeah.
it was already there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's this isn't going to start as
Elon Musk is not the guy that
small.
who
It
makes
is
Star
grown,
Citizen deliver ships in time.
corporate
I have had the Tesla truck on pre-order for 4 years
all the way
now.
till 2019, which was our biggest one
Yeah.
yet here in Manchester. Like this.
Do they provide a loaner? Fuck no.
I'm just going to do it. So that was our last one that we've done
Yep.
live. That was 2019. Obviously, we didn't have one in 2020. It was the pandemic. We had originally had one scheduled that year for Los Angeles. But the city shut down.
All right, so this is just chit chat and small talk and bullshit, and I don't understand. Like, should I watch this till the end? I don't know. Like, if they're gonna mention anything worth hearing, basically. Like, should I watch this? I'm gonna make a poll, I guess. Let me make a poll. There you go. You can vote here in the poll. Please tell me, should I watch this or should I watch one of the videos that you guys sent me? No, this is mine. Never mind. All right. Then another poll, I guess. 31 votes. Okay, I'm gonna wait for like 70 votes because there's currently 100, almost 140 of you in the chat.
Down in 2021 and 2020.
Let me just play some music in the background, I guess. You just got back from Glassdoor. I had to write a review myself, but I looked at CAG's payrolls and they seem quite fine to me, even maybe a little higher than here, to be honest. All right. Let me find. It's gonna take me a while because I sent that to my friend a long time ago, like maybe fucking a year ago in Discord. I'm not sure if it was Glassdoor or the other thing. There's like 2 websites. I know that I sent them 2, and it was like at the start of our communication on Discord. That would be like Discord will be great if you can jump to top. Honestly. All right, so you don't want me to watch. Okay, so should I watch and react to other content creators and their videos, or should I play some PU? Oh, for fuck's sake. I always... There we go. I'm still trying to find the thing on Discord. Just give me a second. I know that this is as immersive as Star Citizen is, and as fun as Star Citizen is right now. Oh, for fuck's sake. Like, if you would see what I'm doing, I can't share it on the screen because it's a lot of personal talk with my friend. So I can't really show you this, but I'm just like going up and scrolling upwards in our comms so I can find the fucking link. Like one of the No, the PU is out, yeah, but the PTU is not. Still. Unless I need to, like, restart the launcher. Nope. Not available. Did Knight Rider time out anyone? I'm not watching the chat right now. Still trying to find the fucking post from a year ago. Tell me, can you search in personal messages? Oh, I think I found... Yeah, this is the start. This is the start of our conversation. It's gonna be somewhere here. Okay, the other thing was called Indeed. And Glassdoor. Let me open Indeed and Glassdoor. Working in Cloud Imperium Games, 1 review. Labor of love, 3 stars. You will work long hours with a lot of great people for poor compensation. If you love the game, it will be worth it. Otherwise, you should probably find another industry to work in. This is from December 2019. Ability to meet personal goals. So these are the areas for improvement. Ability to meet personal goals, feeling of personal appreciation, and energizing work tasks. Now we have Glassdoor here. .3 stars, 108 reviews. So this thing had only 1 review. I don't know. There is a salary tab somewhere on Glassdoor. Yeah. Let me check the salaries. Let me actually play another song because this one is a bit boring. Okay. No, let's read out the reviews first, and then we're gonna check the salaries. Oh no. Why did it work for me without... What? No. I don't wanna join and do shit. I just wanna read it out. No, please don't do that to me. Oh no. Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, let me log in through Google. But you can't see it. Like this. Sure. Right, we are logged in now. Okay, so this worked before. And I could have seen like the reviews and the salaries and all of that before. I don't know like why it worked when I opened it and now it just doesn't. But yeah, here's the link. You can check it out for yourself here, I guess. There you go. There's the link. If you have a Glassdoor account, you can check it out. So more of you want me to react than you want me to play Star Citizen. Okay. Han 2, you're correct. Knight Rider is just a grumpy asset. No, so... Jesus Christ, that was fast, Knight Rider. Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, so the thing is, I do not know who is behind the account of Knight Rider. But he's funny as fuck, and he always, like, comments basically what Knight Rider is gonna tell you on Spectrum. And for a couple of weeks, he has been commenting... let me just unban this guy so he doesn't get angry. Oh shit, I can't. I can't? I can just put him into a timeout. Okay, 300 seconds. It's not that much. Come on. So, yeah, don't get angry, Tiggs. It's fine. So Knight Rider appeared in one of my streams or one of my premieres. I'm not sure, and he just started like posting shit that Knight Rider actually says in Spectrum. Like this, as a culminating result of your moderation history, we have suspended your grumpy chat. So it was so fucking funny to me that at one point I gave him a mod rights during one of my streams or maybe premieres, I'm not sure. And then like a bunch of people got banned, like timed out for 300 seconds. So he's not gonna time out you forever. He's not gonna ban you or whatever. He's obviously a cool dude, and he's just like making a meme out of Knight Rider in moderation. So yeah, he is probably not the actual Knight Rider. Yeah, Knight Rider has the power for the last fucking 20 minutes, I think. So you want me to react? Okay. Let me check the reaction video section. Right, we have a few videos that I have here already, and then we have a race guide video that we're gonna react to. Somebody posted Morphologist video for Star Citizen removes a planet. That's for Levski. Okay, that's because I talked about that last time. We also gotta check out Suncoast Galaxy because you guys want me to do that. But yeah, let's start off with these ones, and then I guess we're gonna watch Suncoast Galaxy. All right, 318 PTU. What? Yeah, if you just joined, I mean, I said this so many fucking times already. If you just joined, the leaks said that it's gonna happen either tonight or Monday. And the leaks are always good. Like, those leaks are always good. You can hop into my community channel and you can see that there. Okay, let's watch Ray's Guide's video on making your 318 wipe plan.
Hello, this is Danny Raymond, the voice behind
I love his voice.
Ray's Guide. And now that it has been confirmed and verified that there will be a full wipe, so with a likelihood of only a matter of weeks until 3.18.
Yeah, that video is really old. Morphologist video about Levski is really old, but I just didn't see Levski. I basically joined the patch after they removed Levski, so I wanted to see how it worked.
It is time to start planning for that wipe. Honestly, with all the core database changes with 3.18, that there would be a full database wipe has been fully expected for months. But other than that planning, is there any point to doing anything right now if it's all going to be wiped? And yes, there is. There is honing your skills, because that is one thing that can never be wiped. Now, can it? Now, suddenly finding yourself without...
Levski will be back, but with Nick's system. So we need to get Pyro first and then Nyx so we can get Levski. But Knight Rider, I love you.
A lot of things might seem a bit disorienting.
Who are you? Are we enemies? Why am I on this wall? Where's Buttercup?
Let me explain. No, there is too much. Let me sum up.
But the first
the
step
fuck was
in
this?
making a plan is deciding that a plan is necessary. And unlike some other videos,
Ray's voice
I'm not
is
going to
amazing.
be trying to lay out
He's using a really good microphone.
some optimized path of doing this step, then that step, because such a specific plan has to be based on your strengths. So first step you have to ask yourself is, what are your assets?
Our assets?
Your brains. Fez's strength. My steel.
What is this shit?
Because your plan should have to...
What are those? What are these? They just fucking... These are not actual mustaches, right? They just drew them.
That's it.
Because your plan should have to start with the missions that you personally can complete with high profit, speed, and little likelihood of failure. When your bank account is already minuscule, you don't want to have a setback of having to pay for a medical rescue or buy new equipment or waste time on a corpse run. High speed, high profit, high certainty should be the motto of your recovery plan activity. In addition, though, you might not be as possessionless as you are imagining.
Princess Bride? Okay.
Log into the RSI website, go to Account, and then select My Hangar. Every game asset there, ships, armor, weapons, etc., is not going to be wiped. Even if it is a concept ship, then you will be getting the loaner ship.
Oh, he has a Corsair. He has a Corsair. He has a Cutter.
Wiped.
And
Even
a
if it is a
Prospector.
concept ship,
He bought the Prospector during the IE.
you will be getting the loaner ship.
Why didn't you list that among our assets in the first place?
So this may affect which
I never watched that
recovery
movie,
plan activities.
honestly.
And then don't presume that this has to be a solo
I've heard about
recovery
that.
plan. Consider a team up.
Here we go. What?
I hope we win.
For example, being a duo in a Hurricane or Scorpius will let you blast through the early level bounties or Claim Jumper or combat assistance beacons and rise in level and reputation fast. Similarly, having a second set of guns, and particularly the ability to heal each other, will radically improve both the speed and certainty of underground facility and cave missions. Now, there are two unique features of this wipe compared to the last one. The first is that the wipe will include reputation. So either one of two things. Your plan needs to address both recovering your wealth and recovering your reputation, or your plan to recover your wealth must not require reputation. Mining does not require reputation, trading does not require reputation, and apparently salvage, as described so far, does not require reputation.
Although they said that maybe we're gonna get salvage missions, but if not, we're gonna get like, it's basically the carcasses of the ships or the ship hulls, destroyed ships are gonna spawn in the asteroid fields, like Cruel One or whatever. We don't know exactly where.
One could also say that piracy does not require reputation, but it is not the kind of high-speed, high-certainty activity suited to a post-wipe recovery plan. But if you do want to use reputation-linked recovery path, particularly if there's one with multiple choices, such as multiple security services, multiple delivery companies, etc., I would suggest that you pick one. Run it up to the higher levels until it reaches that breakover of no longer meeting the criteria of being high-speed, high-certainty, and then switch and ramp up the next one. Now, this wipe is unique for having two new career activities in the game, salvaging and racing. Racing, based on current activities in places like Snake Pit, looks to be a lot of fun and a way to show off your skills and get prestige with other players. But actual UEC per hour, including the practice time familiarizing yourself with the courses and honing the best time, may not be favorable in comparison to other mission types.
You know what the funniest thing about this video is? Not Ray's, but he took this from Star Citizen Live. The fact that they were doing a racetrack in cruise control. Like, who flies, who races in cruise control?
Favorable in comparison to other mission types. If you think you have good racing skills, go ahead and try it out in the Open PTU phase to get an idea what your real UEC per hour will be before deciding on racing as your starting line activity after the wipe. On the other hand, salvage might have a great opportunity, both as a solo endeavor with the Vulture and as a team endeavor on the Reclaimer. And of course, once hull scraping salvage is available to be publicly talked about, I will be covering it in detail. But I also predict that
so he is in Evocati, okay.
Plenty of other content creators with clickbaity headlines like I'm sure you've seen before, promising many, many tens or even hundreds of thousands of UEC per hour, each bigger than its predecessors. Just don't look too closely at the math.
Yeah.
And if patient process gameplay.
Because with the Vulture, they said that the RMC, the things that you're going to get from hull scraping, they said that one unit is going to cost as much as one unit of Contanium does, and that's 88 AUAC. And since the Prospector has 32 SUs of cargo, I don't know how many units that is, but it's like 300,000 AUAC, and the Vulture has 12 SUs of cargo, SU UAC and shit. It just completely fucks up my mind. But with a simple calculation, we could get that the most amount of money that you're gonna get per run with a Vulture is gonna be like maybe 120 or 100 to 120,000 AUAC.
Like mining is
when you fill it
to
out.
you, then go ahead and enjoy it. But there are risks that come along with making a newly introduced mechanic as the cornerstone of your recovery plan. Bugs and missing details at a minimum. Nerfs are also a possibility as well. And remember that most new gameplay...
And this is the stupidest thing ever. The Reclaimer that needs a fucking guy to get the box out of this thing so it doesn't block the production. This is the stupidest thing that I saw in a game ever. Hands down. Honestly. Knight Rider, you can ban me like right now. Like, why is this not on fucking... Why is this not a production line? And it just tosses the boxes on the lower deck. So you need just one guy to sort them out.
But there are risks that come along with making a...
Why doesn't this production line go all the way to here? I don't know if you can see my mouse. Yeah, you can. And it just like drops the box on the lower deck.
Newly introduced mechanic as the cornerstone of your recovery plan. Bugs and missing details at a minimum. Nerfs are also a possibility as well. And remember that most new gameplay loops in this and other games start at wildly profitable to get lots of new participation and then dial back, possibly even without a deliberate nerf. Even if the sale price of recycled hull metal is...
like a conveyor belt is too high tech for fucking $29.52. Jesus.
Still fixed at a static table and doesn't...
I mean, I know that they want to make a multi-crew ship out of the Reclaimer, and they want to have more people inside of a Reclaimer. But having a guy on the upper deck tossing the boxes out and then having to go downstairs to... or having another guy downstairs that's going to sort them out, like, it's just stupid.
Adjust up and down and remains theoretically wildly profitable. Remember that just like any other commodity in Star Citizen, at each location, there will be a demand per minute refresh timer. So if it gets too far out of hand, the result might be, just like with most of the drug commodities, supply way exceeding demand, and we could have reclaimers parked out by the dozens while their owners are banging at the TDD commodity terminals waiting for the next demand drop of recycled hull metal to happen. I'm not predicting that will happen, but that possibility and others exist when betting on a new game loop. So have a backup plan, and particularly follow my next suggestion. And that, as I hinted earlier when discussing racing, is to use the open PTU stage to do a dry run of your recovery plan to work out the kinks.
Yeah.
The real wipe will happen with the release goes live, so the typically 1 week, sometimes longer, of open PTU may be the chance to iron...
Also, yeah, Legion, like there are cranes and chains above your head in the Reclaimer, and you don't have a fucking automated line. It's just like a conveyor belt. It's just stupid.
The wrinkles of your plan. Or even...
And they added the conveyor belt. It's not really that. It's magnetized. I guess we're going to say that for the sake of our sanity and like RP. But like, why isn't it completely extended all the way to where you drop the boxes? It's stupid.
Completely rewrite it. Of course, the ultimate goal of the recovery plan is to build up a bank of UEC in order to buy the other ships that you won. So part of your pre-wipe
you like the
planning
game
is
until
to
you
get
played
a
it.
good solid look at what are the ships that you actually use and the ones that just gather dust in your hangar, because it's quite likely that there are ships you thought would be frequent flyers when you bought them, but didn't turn out to be all that frequent at all. So use that insight to build your wish list of new vehicles to buy with UEC. Because one thing a plan needs is a target to indicate successful conclusion, and a good indication of that would be the purchase of a significant target ship using UEC. Now for an update on our giveaways. First, we have the Waiting for 3.18 Piloting Skills Contest for the most amazing landing of a ship Hercules size or larger for your choice of any of the Crusader Spirit Series ships. See the link in the description for that. And then there is the Grow the Channel ship giveaway for the winner's choice of the Galaxy Complete, the multi-role mining moving medical machine,
He is giving
and
away
the
a
merchant, the
Galaxy.
Banu Big Box Bargain Bazaar.
I guess you
One
get
entry
a
per video.
carrot
Current
corner
members
for
are
that.
entered automatically. Everyone else just subscribe and comment with the secret word. And the secret word for this video is your target ship to purchase in-game with UEC after the wipe. Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse.
As
This is Dana
always,
Raymond for Ray's Guide.
With Ray's Guide, a really good video. I'm going to link it to you guys. I didn't have anything to say because, to comment on the video because, yeah, everything that he said is good. But I'm going to add this. And he said he have a spending plan too, and he was talking about which ships you want to buy in the future. And is the stream alive? What's happening? On my end, it looks like it's bugged, but okay. Tell me if the stream is running nicely, because YouTube is giving me some really good insight of what's happening right now, and I'm being sarcastic. So if the stream is running, I wanted to say this, and that is that the end game of Star Citizen is to play to get ships in the game, and that's it. And I think that I speak for all of us when I say that you're listening, but can you see it? Okay, all is good. Okay, good. because for some reason YouTube is stuck. The stream will start soon. It just like reset and it's staying there. I don't know. So I think that I can talk for all of us that like we're fed up with just doing the same old shit just to get ships. And like if you played for thank you guys. If you played for a while, like I did, for a year or more, you already had all the ships, and that's not the thing that you want to do anymore. Like, yeah, you're gonna get wiped, and now because you had all the ships, you know which ones you want to get. You either got them on the pledge store, or you got them, or you have a spending plan, and you're gonna get them in the game, and then you're gonna lose them with 4.0 again because of the wipe. Because 4.0 is gonna come with a wipe. Yeah, Revenges. Yeah, exactly. So there's gonna be another wipe, and like, what's the point? You're gonna get ships, so you can get wiped again. Okay, we know that wipes are gonna come, but also that shouldn't be the point of the game. And you can say that like you should enjoy the road and not like the destination. Like you shouldn't be looking forward towards the destination, but you should be enjoying the road to there, right? Or the path that you're taking. Sure, but we don't have many roads except roads to Pyro, roads to or Journey to Pyro, and road to server meshing, and road to salvage, and all the roads we've been on. But the thing is, we need more game loops to keep us happy. Like working game loops, working game modes, and all that shit. Because right now it's just boring for most of us. Like I'm playing the game, and you know this if you watch my streams in the previous week. I'm playing the game just because of you guys, because I love the interaction. I love talking to you guys, and it's just fun. It's funny, and that's it. But yeah, other than that, like I've been PvPing for a year, and then I stopped because it's just boring. So yeah, it creates false content. Yeah, so you're just grinding for ships that you're gonna grind again for, basically. Anyway, it's a good video. I linked it to you. I liked it. There are a few more, and I know that somebody sent me in. Let me just check. There's a video from Board Gamer. Okay. Atlas just sent me a video.
Hello
from Board
and
Gamer.
welcome to a.
We're gonna watch that. 2 days ago. Okay, 43,000 views. Okay. And we have a hacker exposed. When is this from? This is from 10 months ago. I think. I commented here. Yeah, this is just being. We're not gonna watch this because this guy was just lagging, and it wasn't really hacking. The guy was just lagging, and that's it. But yeah, let's watch Board Gamer's video, and we can comment on it. I guess. I know that Board Gamer and I don't really agree on a lot of points, but yeah, we still have to watch 2 more videos, and then if we have time, we're gonna watch the sunk cost galaxy that you all are rooting for. But yeah, let's try to watch this. Somebody linked Jeroen video to me, and actually, let me try to open it here. It's about the Galaxy and why the Galaxy is the must-buy concept ship. I watched, like, I like Jeroen. And you're probably not going to agree with me, but I think he's a chill person. We don't agree on a bunch of points, but we can watch his video and we can comment on that. But please try to be respectful. Anyway, let's watch Board Gamer's video.
Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen ship production and development update. I get a ship ton of questions each month. It's a pun. On have there been updates on X ship? When is a ship planned to come out? Is it even in production? So every so often I do a video update and look at what Clan Imperium have said recently about ships in concept, production, etc. So just recently, with Star Citizen Alpha 3.17.4 and the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, we had 3 ships added to the game, which are now flyable, drivable, whatever you want to call it. I suppose flyable. The Corsair, obviously that exploration ship, really cool ship, really like it. Got the C8R medical Pisces as well, and we've got the new starter ship, the Cutter. Alpha 3.18, we know is going to bring at least the Vulture into the game, but there are also at least 4 ships and vehicles that are yet unannounced that Cloud Imperium are working on. So,
John, like John said, the Board Gamer is on the CAG's payroll. Okay, so I had a few arguments with Board Gamer on his channel. We never like actually talked. I guess that I would like him as a person, and that's it, and that we will be cool. But those comments, like, do you know that for a fact? Because the reason why I'm asking you that is because people are saying the same thing for Space Tomato. They're saying the same thing for, like, some people are saying that Chris Roberts is Salty Mike's real dad, and they have proof for that. And like, yes, that is crazy compared to this, but do you understand that like 43,000 views in 2 days is gonna get him like $800? Like, this video is gonna get him like $800 because this video is gonna be alive for maybe the next 10 days, and then he's gonna post another video, and then that like, he has fucking 200,000 subscribers. Why would he need to be on CAG's payroll? It's the same with Morphologists. It's the same with Space Tomato. It's the same with any other content. Like, for me, people have been saying for fucking years now that I have been on a payroll of another dev team or whatever, that and I'm like paid to bring down CAG. I'm not. I'm not saying that I'm earning the money that Board Gamer is earning. No, I'm not. I don't have 7,000 subscribers yet. My top watched videos have, like, in a year, had 43,000 views. I can show you that here. So, no. Where's the popular? 61,000 views is my most watched video. 55, 36. That's like in 8 months. 7 months, 10 months, a year ago, right? And those are my top earners because they are living longer than the rest of the videos, right? 25K, 23K, etc. But him making a video that gets like 43,000 views in 2 days, that earns him a lot of money. And yes, I know I saw like CAG staff wearing Board Gamer's logo on t-shirts because they probably got the merch, or maybe he gave it to them. But that still does not mean that he's on the payroll. And why would they pay him if they have their own channel that has more views and more stuff? Like, how is that going to work? How is that transaction going to work?
We could see something new turn up with the 3.18 patch. In fact,
you're on the way to 10K, and then 50K will be in the same amount of time. I mean, you say that, but I'm not sure. It depends on a lot of things, but yeah.
It's actually probable.
I'm roading free ground.
But let's talk about some of the other ships that are very...
I'm not like saying that I'm in a bad spot. I'm okay. I'm not really liking the YouTube revenue, but because I need more watch hours, I need more ads and all that shit. But he is getting a lot of money for those videos, just like Morphologist and Space Tomato, etc. So they're not paid shills. That's what I'm saying. They're not paid to shill. Most of them are not even shilling. I don't know Board Gamer that much, but I can tell you from experience and from talking to Space Tomato and from watching his streams and from like listening to what he's actually saying in his videos and in his streams, he's not shilling. Morph is not shilling either. So we have a different approach to making videos, right? Like, he's gonna concentrate and focus on the good stuff, on the future, and how everything is gonna look, because the promises. He's gonna focus on the promises, right? And he's gonna tell you that it's gonna, like, there's a bright future with Star Citizen. But me, I know about the past and I learned from the past, and I'm just like this, and that's why I'm making videos like I'm making videos like this, basically, like this stream right here. Like, I'm trying to be objective, and I'm trying to be like in the middle. Honestly, CAG in the past year gave me too much bad things to talk about than they gave me good things. Once we see salvage, I hope that I'm going to make a video where I'm just happy that we have salvage and that it's working. And yes, it's going to be an issue that like it's still just hull scraping and hull munching and all of that. But if it's working and if it's good, I'm going to make a happy video, right? So
that Clan Imperium are sort of working on, whether that's reconcepting, they're in production, or whatever. The Polaris, the mighty torpedo corvette. I think this ship is going to be the center of a lot of people's fleets.
Yeah, I'm cynical. I'm critical. I'm critical of the game and the game's development and the money spent and the time that has passed with us having nothing, basically. We had a fucking whole year with a single patch. And here, 135 people are sitting in this stream waiting on the patch to drop so they can try it themselves and so they can see if it's good or not. Like, we're just waiting for the PTU, and we know that the PTU is going to be broken as fuck. And we're going to probably get like 50, 30Ks in the first 5 minutes. But as I've said, like, I'm trying to be optimistic, but I'm also a realist. Wargamer is a optimistic person. And some people, honestly, like Jeroen, and we're going to watch his video while we wait on the PTU. Some people are just happy with the state of the game. And that's okay. Because what we have right now is what they need from a game like this. And you got to understand that. If you do not understand that, then you're the same as them when they tell you, well, you should stop playing. You're obviously not understanding that this is an alpha. Where's your cut? Since we teamed up at all. I think it's time to remove him and block him from the channel because there's no cuts. But yeah, I thought, Knight Rider, I thought that you worked here on CAG's payroll, right? Legion said, I'm critical towards CAG for its decision-making on priorities, but at the same time, I know how hard and long it can be. I know. I worked. I didn't work. I worked on like smallish games. I was supposed to work. There were some talks about me working on squad, but they got a better guy for that because that guy, I think he's from like, he's Czech or something. That guy had all the guns pre-recorded already. He's a gun nut and he had a lot of shit. So yeah, I had some experience with that. I have an experience with working with like big teams on TV shows and shit like that. But in the end, like, you can see that the project is mismanaged. Like, imagine me working for a TV show and then figuring out that, like, I don't know, the music does not need to be like, we were working on one concept of music, like making a fucking metal, whatever. And then we realized that metal is not going to work in that TV show genre, right? Or TV trailer or whatever, it doesn't matter. So that's the things that like piss me off with this game and this game's development. And I don't know why we're like talking about all of this shit while we're trying to watch a Wargamers video. Anyway,
mixture of mission running and combat, and you want to run something small to medium sized with your friends, I suppose. It is a Corvette, it is pretty big. Beyond its current reconcepting phase, the Polaris doesn't have any more work scheduled in for it yet anyway. This could change in the very near future. But we recently saw its newly planned interior. The ship is split across 2 decks. It's got a big bridge now with nearby escape pods, hangar for medium fighter, cargo bay, big old cargo bay. Looks like it holds sort of 15 crew.
See, like here, I can hear a guy that is excited about the ship that he's going to see at some point in the game. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to ask when, because I want to see it. The perspective is the same. He's excited about the ship because he wants to see it. I want to see it too, but I'm asking when, and he's happy with just like having a concept.
A med bay with what looks like 2 tier 2 sort of med beds. It's got a massive engineering section and captain's quarters and sort of CO's office and quarters and a scary torpedo bay. They have made the Polaris a little bit bigger as well. The Banu Merchantman is a floating marketplace / car.
Management seems to be what's worse at CAG from what I have seen and heard. Yeah, but also they're doing great because they have earned more than 100 million this year. So their management is bad for us, the backers and the gamers. It's great for them.
Cargo hauler. It's one of the oldest ships that has yet to be completed. It's currently being worked on with work scheduled going into June 2023. However, as with pretty much all the other ships in the game, it's very possible that they could pause production on it and at least some of the team that's working on it be retasked with other vehicles and environments and locations, points of interest that have a higher priority. That said, the ship has seen a lot of work through its reconcepting phase and white box and moving towards grey boxing for a lot of bits for it. The exterior is looking like it's made the most progress. We've seen its planned bridge, the crew living areas, little shrine sort of prayer area, turret access, hangar bay, large cargo hold. I'm really looking forward to being able to stock and semi-automate my shops aboard this ship because that's what the idea of it is. It's a bit of a cargo hauler. It's also, you can land it somewhere or dock it with something and then people come aboard and buy goods from your stalls there. The ship has a load of artists.
All right, so it's not being worked on. So that's the main comment here. I don't know. I'm not going to defend Poor Gamer because maybe he made this video before that. Maybe he didn't hear that. Maybe he still thinks that it's still being developed. I don't know. Also, I gotta be honest, John Crew didn't really say that it's done and it's not like they're not gonna develop it anymore. He said that they were thinking about putting a pin into that ship, but also we know what that means, right?
And designers working on it, 13 at last count. And even if it does keep on being in production all the way up until June, there's probably still quite a bit more that they will need to do after that to get it in game. I think if you're very lucky, you could see it.
I'm not a fan of BMM either.
2023, if it is
Legion.
sort of going straight all the way through the pipeline into sort of like production.
What? Port?
I think if you're very lucky, you could see it at the end of 2023. If it is sort of going straight.
I mean, if they're still working on it, then yes, but
all the way through the pipeline,
they're probably not
into sort of like production and then completion. The Argo SRV.
This ship is going to happen probably in the next patch. You're not blocked anymore.
Is a space tow truck, and it's got a powerful tractor rig. So art and design team.
I'm honestly fairly excited about the STD or SRV because. Yeah, tractor beams and tractor beams on ships. Because once it gets its tractor beam, all the ships are going to get tractor beams.
Teams have been working on the ship.
At least that's what they told us.
And have work planned on it up until early February 2023 with the EU vehicle content team at least. We do know that Cloud Imperium want to get large-scale tractor beams in-game, and we hope that we're going to see this relatively soon as part of the ongoing cargo refactor. This ship won't just be for towing other ships, though. It's going to be sort of obviously helping ships out of atmosphere, but also aiding in mining, salvage, and cargo movement. It's going
to be really good for cargo
as well. Crusader Spirit series, the C1, E1, and A1. These are competitors to the Cutlass and Freelancer series with cargo, VIP transport, and bombing gameplay, respectively. The ship has a 50-week set of work wrapping up June 2023, and it's quite possible the ship will be close to being done by then. So
unless they postpone it like they did with the Legionnaire.
Might be a Q2, Q3 release. I love this as a potential upgrade from sort of like maybe you get your starter ship, then move on to an Avenger Titan, and then move on to a Crusader C1 rather than a Freelancer or a Cutlass Black. And
I think the cut is still better.
I just think they look great. The Yo-Yo Power Santok Yai. This is the Xi'an medium fighter. We recently saw a top-down view of the ship in a sneak peek from Clan Imperium. So this has a 25-week set of work wrapping up in June 2023 again. It will be interesting to see where this ship lands in the meta. These ships are supposed to be like a bit different from other ships, be they alien.
So this ship is going to be much more maneuverable than your average medium fighter. It's going to be as maneuverable as the Cartual.
Or human, because they sort of have all these like...
and I understand why this has 43,000 views in like 2 days, because people want to see ships more than anything else.
Thruster rig stuff going on, and it's sort of more strafey is the idea. The Origin X1. This is the elusive luxury floating bike. The vehicle feature team are working on this January, February 2023, and then that's getting more work from the US vehicle content team in June 2023.
We just watched, Kiwi, we just watched Star Citizen
could
Live.
very well be a sort of Q2, Q3
we finished like
more likely release
half an hour ago
for that floating bike. Some capital ship stuff. So the Idris and Javelin, they've seen a lot of work. They do require server meshing and some more work before going into players' hands, though. I would expect that Cloud Imperium want to get the resource management system done and in our grubby little mitts before they push out these ships to players. They are apparently not being held back for Squadron 42. However, there may be bits that are completed closer to sort of Squadron 42's launch for the ships, and things with like the Idris, well, Squadron 42's Idris is actually the Idris M, and it's a very specific one, and same with the Javelin.
Did you see that? I don't know which video this is from, but he does not have a helmet.
To the Idris M,
and pop!
And it's a very
there it is. It just pops on.
Like the Idris, well, Squadron 42's Idris is actually the Idris M, and it's
why would they fucking release this video?
One, and same with the Javelin. The interiors are going to be a little bit different because they are military models, and they are sort of going to have props and things set up for Squadron 42, whereas the civilian versions, the Idris P and Javelin Civilian, shall we call it, they are going to be a little different and will need a bit more work before being ready. And
so Board is right to a degree, but also they said that even if they can make an Idris right now, it would be just like a waste of time. That's like a quote from Jared, because in the end, that Idris would look like an oversized Gladius, because it would be just a gunboat, and that's it. So one of the reasons why they're not working, at least what they're saying, why they're not working on what's it called, big ships, capital ships, is because of resource management and engineering and all that shit that needs to happen before capital ships to have some gameplay inside of them. We also need that for the older ships and the smaller ships. But honestly, one more thing that they said was, if I remember correctly, is that the Idris, for example, is ever changing because they're changing the metrics and everything with the Idris at all times because Squadron 42 needs it. So if it grows in size because they need another room in the Idris or whatever, they can't, like, if they had a model inside the PU, they would need to update that, and that would just not work. That would just not work. And but why not release the other big ships? And then we get to the Polaris and why we need the Polaris, and like there's no point in having a Polaris or whatever. So yeah, it's just like a fucking cycle. A loophole, not a hole, just a
massive
loop of like.
And we also never.
Do we need that? No.
Imperium's marketing.
Do we want that? Yes.
That. They might be.
But do we need that?
Gonna
no.
Hold it back for Squadron 42. Now they might just randomly decide that.
The thing that we need is more game loops in the ships that we have in the game right now to be interactable with. What can you interact in? What can you interact with in the Constellation series? The 2 turrets, the 3 seats. And maybe you can sit on the chair and you have beds and that's it. Like, there should be more to that ship. There should be more to the Freelancer. There should be more to all the other ships. That's like the gameplay that we need for the ships, and then gameplay loops in the game, and then we can. I just saw Knight Rider posted the fucking terms of service, amazing, and then we can talk about like having an actual game.
The Hull C. This is a pretty big cargo hauler that will.
Yeah, we have the snub ship. We got it 3.13, 14, something
can be
like
used
that.
for smuggling as well. It can morph when it's not carrying cargo so that it can land in lots more locations. But when it's got cargo, it's got these big spindles that sort of hold loads of cargo. The ship is almost complete. Cloud Imperium were just waiting for the cargo factor to come online with Alpha 3.18 to sort of get the Hull C then finished. And
I'm not sure about that. No. So the Hull C was postponed because the Hull C, the metrics of the Hull C in the interior were completely wrong. It was done before, like they made it before, but like they weren't happy with it because the NPCs were getting stuck inside of it. There was just not enough space or room inside the ship itself to move around. So yeah,
more locations, but when it's got cargo, it's got these big spindles that sort of hold loads of cargo. The ship is almost complete. Cloud Imperium were just waiting for the cargo factor to come online with Alpha 3.18 to sort of get the...
so it got scrapped and they just like redid it. And I'm not sure if it's even close to being done.
Finished. And we could actually see it as part of a 3.18.x patch, in my opinion, or the next major patch thereafter. So 3.19, or if they skip 3.19, 4.0.
That is
we know
wishful
some design
thinking,
work wrapped up in November for the ship as well. Really looking forward to it. We know the 600i is having a big reconcept, especially if it's sort of modular section. So most of the ship is sort of parallel between the touring and exploration versions, but the rear section of the ship is pretty modular now. The luxury touring version has a full-on spar, while the exploration version makes much better use of its space for that sort of exploration-y role, with a big old cargo bay that can hold a tank, if you want, and an armory. So exploration is quite good at sort of mission running as well, and being very multi-role. The ship's split over 3 decks. It's a big, cool ship, especially with the changes that they're making with it. On a bit more of a side note, the current resource management work looks to wrap up April 2023. So this system will handle resources for stations, settlements, cities.
I mean, yeah, it's going to lead to the A90J rework at some point.
And all other locations. It will also unlock engineering station gameplay for ships, letting players manage power, CPUs, fuel, shields, coolant, etc. It's needed for damage control and sort of physicalized components and a load of other things, including life support systems. It's a huge amount of gameplay there, including true multi-crew gameplay, which has me really excited. That's going to massively change ships, and obviously they want to get all ships up to that sort of standard.
But we still don't know when that's going to happen.
It's going to take a while, and there might be quite a lot more work after that work wraps up in April, because that could just be for the sort of prototype actually fully working with the Hammerhead. I think was the first ship they've planning to get working with that.
The Hammerhead, and it's probably going to be the Corsair and the newer ships. But the issue is we don't really know when that's going to happen. And once that happens, when we get resource management, the engineering part of it is just going to be like changing the fuses, which is not what CG intended in the first place. So it's going to be a tier 0 again.
Space mines are being worked on, and work for that looks to wrap up in May 2023. So this is going to be the ability for players and certain ships to release different mines. This could mean that we see mines being able to be deployed out of cargo bays, or we'll see like a smaller mine layer ship.
All right, guys, tell me, because I can see that you're talking about Knight Rider in the chat. Are you pissed off because of him? What did he do? I didn't see anything. I can take out his mod rights.
Turn up.
Oh my god!
Or that the Nautilus is being fast.
He just deleted fucking 5 messages.
Sort of
amazing.
And MFT.
All right,
rework,
that's the end of the reign of Knight Rider.
Has sort of plans wrapping up in June 2023.
At least for this chat.
Both
But thank you, Knight Rider, for joining us. So, yeah, you just bring me joy
ships, MFDs,
every time you're
building
here.
box UI technology, as well as completely redesigning them in an effort to make them more customizable, better matched to ship aesthetics, and better at serving ship gameplay. We also know that Cloud Imperium are working on a massive amount of ship combat and quantum travel changes. So, and that's the new master mode stuff, but that's also a huge amount of new meta and sort of balance changes, additions to the game.
Well, that's the point, Bomb Krieger. That's the point. That's why I added him, because he's gonna ban everyone for no fucking reason. Because you gotta feel, Knight Rider touched me. You gotta feel like you're on a spectrum, right? Because we all are fucking masochists here, right?
I'm sort of bringing everything up to gold standard. Please check out my video on that if you are so inclined. We do also know that Cloud Imperium are working on a mid to high tier RSI mining ship.
I love you, Knight Rider.
So that's going to be exciting for some. But unfortunately, there are no...
Yeah, Board Gamer thinks that the content will snowball immediately here, but that's not going to happen.
Updates on a lot of...
Like, Sir Meshing is not going to open any floodgates, because for the floodgates to open, we need a ton of fucking content.
Ships and vehicles at the moment. So things like the Perseus or Titan suits and the Apollo, though Cloud Imperium did say that the RSI sort of galaxy is very modular and they're looking at modular gameplay. That ship obviously also has medical gameplay tied to it. Yeah, there might be a bit of a look at the Apollo, maybe, if we're lucky, in the not too distant future. There's nothing new on the Endeavour, even though modularity is being talked about again. Hopefully, Cloud Imperium will start showing off modules for the Caterpillar in the next year, maybe. But yeah, the Expanse, the Legionnaire, the Odyssey, the Liberator, Raylan, the G12s, the Vulcan, the Rangers, the Krakens, the Pioneer, the Genesis, the massive Orion, and the rest of the Hull series remain unaccounted for currently. No new news on them, but that's actually not that many ships when you consider that we have well over 120 ships and vehicles in game already, and Cloud Imperium are obviously building a lot more currently, so hopefully they'll clear out that sort of remaining backlog in the next few years. But I would like some more updates, and we are going to be getting a lot more. A big sort of indicator of what Cloud Imperium are working on for 2023 in early February 2023. That's sort of when they will do all of their scheduling plans, or the scheduling plans will be finished, and they'll sort of share them with us with the roadmap update. At least that is the hope. But what do you think? Are you excited for any of the ships that are being worked on? Are you disappointed?
I mean, Board, I'm excited for the ships, yes.
Ship? What is your...
I'm excited for the game loops more.
Your favorite ship that is currently in concept or development? Do you think Cloud Imperium is working on the sort of older ships enough and clearing out that backlog fast enough? Or do you think they are far too focused on sort of new ships and selling stuff rather than working on older stuff? What ships do you want to hear updates on? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
All right. Thank you, Board Gamer, for the video. I don't know if this is copyrighted, so that's why I stopped it here. All right, let's talk about Knight Rider. So, Knight Rider, as I've said, I don't know him. I just saw that Atlas sent me a message because he got timed out. Timeout for paying members is a no-no. Honestly, I did not know that that you can't that you can like ban the paying members. I guess that's a thing. But dude, it's like 300 seconds. It's not like it's what is that? 3 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. It's not that bad. It's a joke. I tried to unban everyone, but no, I can just put into timeout. That's weird. But yeah, Atlas is also a YouTuber. Let me give you his channel because he sent a video to me. So we're not gonna watch his video because it's a reaction, and like a reaction to reaction, it doesn't work. But there you go. That's Atlas's channel. Just go and subscribe to him. That's like, I'm sorry from me, even though like it's 300 seconds. Come on, it's funny. But yeah, Knight Rider, you just lost your power. So I don't know the guy, but I don't know. Like, it was just funny when he started commenting on my channel, and I saw that somebody said, that's why I wanted to address his. Hunt, you said that Knight Rider is gonna get banned from YouTube for impersonation. I mean, that's just like a name on YouTube. It doesn't matter. Reported here and to CAG with video of this chat. It's a joke. Come on. It's a joke. Anyway, if Jack is ready. Jack, are you still on the stream? So let me just play some music until Jack joins. So we were talking about watching the Suncoast Galaxy together and commenting on what we're seeing there. Let me just call him in. I'm leaving the React versus PU poll up because it's still like 52% for reaction. I will play Star Citizen in a bit. I guess we're still waiting to see if the PTU comes online. If not, we're gonna play the PU. Let me just check it. Hey, Jack.
Is Mike okay?
Yeah, it's actually really good now.
Okay, good. Hello,
All right.
everyone.
Let me try to do something. So, could you give me the original? No, I think I can just search for it. Suncoast Galaxy, like the first episode. I'm on his channel. I'll find it in a second. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Can remember, and then we can watch any episode. I think maybe Sandy's one would be interesting because we talked about it tonight, but any other, I think everything is interesting.
All right. Are you good, by the way? You okay?
Very good, thank you.
Okay. So is it called Suncoast Galaxy Chapter 1, Past to Future? Past to Future to Present.
I think it's called The Credible Narrator or something like that.
Could you drop a link in the...
Yeah.
Thank you. BTU up yet? Nope. If Jack help you off the horse, will you help Jack off the horse? All right, give me a second while we're doing that. I gotta plug my merch, I guess. All right, so quick break. We're still trying to find the original link. Jack, I think he just sent me the link. Yep. All right. So we're gonna watch this in a second. But before that, merch. Stop, please. Okay. So we have merch. You can check it out on the merch store. The Stream Elements is, he just posted the merch store link. Check it out. There's a lot of different stuff. Most of it is funny. All of it was done by me, by hand, basically. I'm still waiting. They're on in the customs office here, and for some reason they're not gonna give it to me unless I pay an absurd fucking amount of money to get the merch here, so I can test it out. But from what I heard from people that bought the merch, they're really enjoying it, and they say that it's high quality. So if you want to check it out, that's a way to support me to get something in return. And also, as you can see, Ross Aiken keeps speaking the truth. Love your lives. Thank you. And thank you for the $20. That's another way to support me. Also, the last way would be the Patreon. Like for if you get the like one of the merch from the merch store, just go there and check it out. It's all funny and it's all just like wacky. And if you get something from there, you're gonna get something in return, like something to wear. And if you want to support me in any other way, like the super chat on YouTube or through Patreon, I will be forever in your debt, basically. And I will continue making these videos and these streams and all of that. See you, Legion. Hey, I'm back.
Hello.
Jack? Hello.
Yes, I sent you the link of the first.
Yeah, I have it open. I'm gonna try and stream it here so we can watch it at the same time. Can you watch my stream, like the stream from Discord?
Yes, just
so we don't like, because you're gonna lag on the comments, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh no, shit, I can't, because when I'm streaming audio, everything just breaks on my PC. Fuck me. I guess we can just like do it like this. You can watch
you
my
tell
stream.
me when you play start and I play start on my side.
All right.
So I'm more or less at the same time.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, start. I'm scared that this music is copyrighted.
Hi, I'm Bucha, your narrator and guide through this video series. The purpose of this series is to dissect and examine the phenomenon that is Star Citizen, a crowdfunded video game that has raised unprecedented funding and stands to make an impact on its parent industry, for better or worse. I am not a disinterested voice reading a script I have no investment in. Star Citizen was something I was deeply
Thank you, Randall, by the way.
in, both financially and emotionally. On the emotional end, Star Citizen represented a video game that I wanted to play, as well as representing 1,000 scattered and vague fantasies I had both in childhood and growing up, and escapist daydreaming in adulthood. Space and science fiction hold a place near and dear to my heart, and the creator of Star Citizen's previous works occupied a not insignificant part of my memories and imagination functions.
I don't know what
that,
5S on copyrighted music means.
One of the dearest gifts I hold is an original prop helmet from the video game series I loved growing up. This is it. On the financial end, I was called, in terms of the project, a big fish. I gave the project funds in excess of $10,000 in a lump sum, which required more complex financial transactions than simply clicking a donate button. At the time, it was the largest lump sum they had received from any one person not part of the development team. I considered it a privilege to be a small part of the financial success of the project and ongoing development, and I did my best to treat that position with the responsibility it required, and to ensure Star Citizen was a financial success. This is a profit-sharing agreement and NDA I signed. And as a bonus to citizens watching, here's my citizen card.
I don't know when the
course
copyrighted
of years
music
and several
happens.
months, I provided gifts and refreshments to the development team, assisted media in logistics, camera operation, and filming, worked major
Also,
company
Atlas, this
events,
was
both
like
live stream and conventions as crew, provided input on decisions when asked, and asked
2017.
what their needs were in order to better
And welcome back,
facilitate
by the
getting
way.
those needs addressed. This project was the culmination of dreams and opportunity. I was a true believer in Star Citizen. But that changed. I began to have reservations about the direction Star Citizen was taking. The continued fundraising began to make my investment agreement less and
Jack,
less
we can watch
valuable
this
as
in
development costs
like its
rose.
entirety and then
The
comment
managerial
afterwards.
experience
Okay?
began
Yeah.
questioning the workload, feature creep, and technology choices. The nose test started smelling something funky in certain executive appointments. And as a fan, what wasn't being told to me was bothering more than what was being told. I began to ask questions and get answers, but while employees stated their concerns under anonymity, executive staff were unconcerned or unresponsive. In the end, I decided that the project and I should mutually terminate the investment agreement, and that I would not take any interest on the lump sum. In the months and years to follow, many employees of Star Citizen, former and current, reached out to me to share their experiences, which were overwhelmingly and startlingly negative. I continued my own investigations as to what was going on, and what I discovered was a project suffering from rampant mismanagement, massive inexperience, and an executive staff taking advantage of opportunity for themselves at the detriment of the project. While I did alright by me, tens of thousands of true believers continue to throw good money after bad at Star Citizen, which then influences hundreds of thousands of others to give money to the project, a project that is in big trouble. This story is a personal journey for me, but it is not just my story. It is the story of hundreds of employees and thousands of backers who at one point or another have felt or seen the unspoken reality beneath the positive smiling.
Make Knight Rider a permanent
I gotta pause
moderator.
it. Thank you, Jace, for the $15. I mean, I would love to, but you see that people are protesting.
Since development. This industry
Oh, yeah,
already
I'm playing
demands
it
a
again.
lot from its employees, but to allow bad practices to be swept under the rug in the name of the product.
This was
would be
released
doing
in
them a terrible
2017.
misservice. Many employees, current and past, have been hurt by decisions made by the executive staff, and there is legitimate concern that such bad practices will be adopted by those in the industry that think they can do it better, rather than doing the right things. My sources will remain confidential and anonymous, except for those who have named themselves publicly with such statements, or when names have been attached to publicly available material. I will tread a delicate line with what can be publicly shareable, for while I have a wet paper bag's worth of anonymity myself, I am still liable for some things. I will have opinions and I will state them as such, and not as fact. Star Citizen does not end with the last video of this series. It will probably exist in development. What happens to it ultimately lies in the hands of its creators and executive staff. A YouTube video series isn't going to bring down a 400-plus workforce company that raised over 170 in funding.
Are you seeing the chat, Jack?
By their own design.
Wait, I gotta stop. Thank you for the $20, Atlas. This is fucking amazing. Alright,
That's all the series and dour stuff out of the way. If you'll indulge me and stick around, I'd like to take you on a personal journey through the past to the present, and into the cracks and crevices of this alien mutated development. Because nothing exists in the void, we start with history.
Right, I finished the episode.
Good. Same here.
We can watch the next one.
Themselves
if you want
slowly
to.
being
But okay, let's comment on this first.
Mm-hmm.
Atlas, if you want to join us, just hop into the pre-production or pre-podcast if you want to talk about this, because I know that you watched this also.
So maybe one thing I can say is I think it's good that you watch it
Mhm.
because everyone can form his own opinion on it. You know, whether you're pro or against Star Citizen. I think it brings more information on the table than a lot of other people who have criticized CIG before. So it's quite interesting it really helps, I think, to put the current issues we see into a larger context.
Mhm.
That's what I think. Then obviously, as you said, you called it malicious. I don't like that word, but yes,
Because of some episodes, not because of
Yeah.
this one.
But I think he's clear about it that from the start, like you say, he's not gonna say nice things. He presents himself as a whistleblower, so to say. So obviously we need to be critical on what he says, but I still think with his insider information, because he was so close to the team in the beginning of the project, I think it's relevant to be watched, and then everyone can judge by himself if he wants to believe, not believe. Take it with a grain of salt, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Atlas, you want to add something? By the way, hello.
Yeah, hey. No, I think it's always good to have critical views on whether it's games or any other kind of software. But I do think
Check the chat, by the
that-
way, Atlas.
Oh, let's see. Make a vote for Knight Rider moderation. Well,
Thank
we'll
you
see
for
about
another
that.
15, Chase.
Yeah, I think
Make
that
a vote
the,
for Knight Rider moderator.
The people
He
that
will win.
are first super fans have a more dramatic reversal when they become bitter about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think you have to take everything with a grain of sand. The way I've put it is, I have spent plenty of money on the game, and I will continue to spend plenty of money on the game.
Mm-hmm.
But that gives me the right to bitch about it.
Sorry, I'm just watching the chat. This is basically my most fucking
Protest
profitable
these
video
nuts.
because of Knight Rider.
is hilarious. Hashtag make
I
us
really
agree
got to pay him
again.
for this.
Oh, the hell you do.
Thank you, Randall, for the $20. Jesus Christ. All right, you guys want to watch the second one? The chapter 1, past to future to present?
Yeah. I think
Hopefully it's
a
got a
very
little more
interesting
energy
one.
to it.
Well, yeah, I think what the fuck, Atlas? Thank you, but like, what?
Ban them all.
What are you guys doing?
Jesus.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I guess like Knight Rider is getting paid this time. So I can't stream on Discord while I'm streaming here because yeah, my PC is gonna break. So we gotta watch it at the same time. I'm gonna link it for you, Atlas.
Okay.
It's gonna be in the podcast chat. There you go, for both of you. And we can press space at the same time and we can like comment afterwards, I guess. You guys ready?
Where'd you link it?
In the podcast chat. I'm just gonna tag you.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Can we hit 1K? All right, ready?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
It's February 8th, 2012, and Tim
I'm
Schafer,
undecided,
a much
just ban
beloved
everyone.
LucasArts adventure game developer from the 90s,
Thank you for
breaks
the
from
10
industry
bucks,
convention
boss.
to ask money from the gamers directly to make a new adventure game through the crowdfunding platform Kickstarter. Citing that the past publisher-centric model did not see this as a viable project
I am undecided.
to fund,
Just
Schafer was
ban
instead
everyone.
selling the game upfront to the gamers that wanted it, and those sales would fund the development. Asking only for $400,000, though one of the largest asking prices on Kickstarter at the time, backers shattered the goal by raising $3.3 million over 30 days. As one of the most successful Kickstarter projects at the time, the theoretical funding plan became proof that there was a market for video games on Kickstarter and that games could be crowdfunded. Developers past
And thank you for that, Jace. I pressed space
present,
by
and future
accident.
began to swamp
Also,
into
thank you, Ross.
crowdfunding. The lore of Schafer's financial success had many dreaming of their own Cinderella story, but you lived and died on your pitch to the market. You had to sell it. If people couldn't get excited about it, you wouldn't get a dime if you
we were
fell under
live.
your
Worthless.
crowdfunding goal. You made about 70% of your money in the first 2 days, and the last day of the funding drive. A bad first day, you might be shit out of luck. A ghost town on the last day, you might come close but fail. And even if you made your goal, you could find yourself unable to produce the promised game in part or completely. Game development is hard. Thankfully, point-and-click adventure games, turn-based strategies, RTSs, platformers,
Yeah, Atlas is
genres
winning.
left neglected, found new life in this market. However, one genre was missing from the Kickstarter gold rush: space sims. So the space sim genre
For the
comes from Star Wars and
55
Battlestar
bucks,
Galactica fantasy.
Randall.
A big
Knight Rider
starfighter
greater
or
than
Luke
Atlas.
Skywalker
Hashtag
flying
banhammer.
around
Hashtag lol.
in spaceships and
Road to
blowing stuff up.
1,000 USD.
The Top Gun fantasy before Top Gun. The Last Starfighter, the hero of the galaxy.
Thank you guys.
Early in the genre, vector graphics made space sim games a good choice for the early 80s, but they were mostly limited. However, Elite, a pioneer in the genre, embraced vector graphics and delivered the Han Solo smuggler and space trucker fantasy with several entries. In the 90s, space sims took off with Wing Commander, X-Wing, Descent, Free Space,
Atlas,
and
what the
Battlefruit.
fuck?
I'm
dude?
serious.
But at the turn of the millennium, after our last few attempts,
Oh my god, thank
the
you.
large publishers stepped away from the fringe genres like space sims in pursuit of the new full 3D FPS games for their novelty and success. Without promotion from publishers, developers found it hard to sell their games at big box stores, essentially the only storefront available at the time. And while they were still being made, space sims essentially slipped into a genre coma. What was left were a few separate communities online surrounding
Throwing money will
class
streamline
releases,
moderation.
trying to make use of the parts abandoned to keep themselves entertained. We fast forward to October 10th, 2012, and Chris Roberts steps back onto the stage after a decade-long hiatus from the video games industry. He announces Squadron 42 and its companion game Star Citizen, Two styles of space sims rolled into one package for release in 2014. It is to be crowdfunded independently for the cost of $2 million, one of the highest prices asked for any crowdfunded game project at the time. Within minutes, during the presentation itself, the servers of Robert's own crowdfunding site crashed from massive traffic and would not be functional for a week.
Oh. Apparently, our site is having millions of hits and is overloaded. So, everyone out there, please be patient because hopefully I think it's worth it. But it's great that there's so many people interested in it.
Lost time is lost funding. Robert sets up a side Kickstarter for the game to keep funding coming in while rebuilding the private site. By the end of October, Roberts collected $2.5
Thank you for ordering
million.
2 items.
Success in and of
YP.
itself, but there was still time left. Finally, on November 19th at about 10 a.m. CST, the cutoff was given and a total of $6.2 million had been raised.
God
Roberts
damn it.
managed to catch
Knight Rider, what the fuck did you do?
Atlas is broke. #Nitrodervins.
What is happening right now? What the fuck? Thank you for the 120. Randall. Jesus Christ. Okay, I mean, I gotta stop it now because, god damn it, guys. Right, I will make a vote. Okay.
But just what is Star Citizen? What makes it so unique in not just the video game industry, but for crowdfunding as a whole? So the initial bang of the presentation was Squadron 42, a familiar Top Gun in space with pseudo-historical narrative and lore, something Chris Roberts is well known for in his previous works. It's a single-player experience with bits of arcadey flight sim action and a lot of space opera drama sandwiching it. It wasn't the current normal, but it wasn't the big dream. That was Star Citizen, the multiplayer component of this double whammy. The pitch for that was playing online with friends, pilot ships together in squadrons or multi-crew ships, run generated missions together, be pirates or mercenaries, and generally muck about in a brand new universe. The real kicker was that Roberts not only had the sizzle reel to show off, but a separate live demo he played on the podium to demonstrate his idea, a tactile example of what Roberts wanted to make.
less than USD.
That was the kindling that sparked a flurry of dreams and a fury of pledges. This should have been the end of it. A game is funded, then developed, then released. The world goes on, and everybody involved.
Thank you, Atlas, for $150. What?
Let's look back at Tim Schafer's own Kickstarter.
What? Please, guys, please. You need money for the ships. Come on.
The inconvenient truth of the video games industry is that projections of cost and workload are routinely underestimated.
Honestly.
Originally, the Kickstarter game Schafer had, Broken Age, was stated for release in October of the same year. But once production values ramped up, that date was pushed back to second quarter 2013, and further back again to September 2013. Even with $3.3 million in hand, Schafer and his development house Double Fine found themselves slowly being cornered by dwindling funds and a backlog of work. Reevaluation of the project.
I feel nervous.
They had to change
I feel like
release plans, or face running out of money well before the game was finished. So they split the game in half, releasing Part 1 in January 2014, and taking the sales to fund development of Part 2, which also saw delays and didn't ship until April of 2015. What we learn from this example is that a veteran of the industry in the genre he or she is experienced in, and a passionate workforce can have trouble delivering on what was comparatively an easy game to make, even when you give them more than what they asked for. To Schafer and Double Fine's credit, they shipped what they promised, all while allowing a documentary crew to film them at their highs and lows, and even their rawest. And here we are with Star Citizen. Over 5 years.
I slap Randall Flagg with my white glove and ask him to join me on my A90 for a duel.
$170 million later. What began with a bright star has collapsed onto itself and left a black hole sucking in money and spitting out hype. How did this happen? We'll have to fall deeper down the rabbit hole and examine the man, the myth, the legend that everyone pins their dreams upon.
I literally heard him say, make that pixel.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Is it finished on your side?
It is right now.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just crying out of laughter. Are you watching the chat?
Yeah,
Jack?
yeah, it's crazy.
Jesus fucking Christ. Atlas, thank you, but also stop, please. The fuck is happening? Okay, so I gotta be honest.
Don't expect it every day.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't expecting it at all, but I gotta be honest. I was crying out of laughter watching the chat more than I was
anyway,
watching the video. I watched it already like a year ago.
Yeah, but anyway, that episode, I think it's just setting the stage kind of episode.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much
God damn it.
to be reacted on. My God.
Smiley face.
Stop. Okay, do not retaliate, Atlas. Also, Randall, thank you, and please stop it. Atlas, are you okay with me just making a poll if people want Knight Rider as the whatever?
You're asking for war.
All right. Did you watch the video, Atlas?
No.
No.
I was too busy laughing at the chat, man. I wasn't watching the video.
All right, Jack, continue, please.
Yeah, no. So that was just setting the stage. What I would propose, because the next chapter is all about, it's a super big focus on Chris Robert himself.
Thank you,
but
Randall.
I think people know him enough.
I mean,
And
sincerely,
I would
thank
immediately
you.
go to chapter 3.
Chapter 3? You want to skip it to there?
That's my proposal, but I
Okay,
don't
you
know
wanna
if the
you
chat
wanna
is
link
okay
that?
or yes.
Yeah, like Chad is still asking for reactions, so just link me that so we can watch it. That is a very nice Christmas indeed. Yeah, Jan. Ooh, okay, let me play some music in the background. I'm just like wasted up from laughing the whole fucking time. Oh, you found it already? Chapter 3? Okay.
Yeah, but we can take a break if you want. You need.
No, we're good.
You have
Hey, how many
few things
watchers
to
do we
manage
have
in the
right now?
chat.
How many watchers do we have right now? I
We
can't see how
have
many we have.
135 people watching right now.
Really? Okay.
All right. Atlas, you want to watch the
Let me try
video
something
with
else
us?
here.
Don't, please, I beg you. Don't. 50 Grumpy Eye memberships? What are these? What
You
are
don't even know,
those?
do you?
I don't even fucking know what they are, but thank you.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
These are people that are going to vote for me. You guys hear that? These
You're
are
buying
my votes.
voters now. Fucking amazing. Oh my fucking god. What is happening? Atlas, thank you, but please stop. You're just buying fucking votes from everyone. Are you just gifting the memberships to anyone, or are you just like...
Yep,
okay.
everybody.
Wow.
So did you not
Thank you.
want your stream taken over by?
You want to know what a good thing is? Now the members are going to be shown on the page because you need to have more than 5 to
There
have
you
them
go.
shown. Atlas wins some. Okay. Yeah, I think you won. I don't know what the argument was.
I think so.
What you were standing for, but you won.
I think the argument was who's going to give more money.
Oh, okay.
So who is winning right now?
Atlas.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. But according to the chat, I have no idea. Yeah, Atlas just broke YouTube, basically.
Man, that's a few month rent.
Yes, I think it is. I don't know how much it is, honestly.
Yeah, a
That's
lot
good.
less after YouTube's share.
Yeah, that's true.
Seriously, won't be
But-
happy with that. Like watching Suncoast Galaxy and receiving those tips must be like weird for them.
Right, I made a new poll. Gemini, I don't have an idea what's going on either, dude.
I told you the other day I was perfectly willing to donate a ship. Instead, now you make me spend $1,000.
That was $1,000?
Nah, it wasn't. It was like 700.
Dude, come on, why? I mean, thank you, but still, I gotta jerk you off now, right?
Let's find somebody.
I mean,
better
that's
than
the
me
least that I can do, right?
for that.
Right, that's democracy, guys. That's how it works. You just proved it, Atlas.
Literally the definition of democracy, right there.
Yep. All right. Can we watch the next video now? I'm still getting notifications. Atlas, you want to watch the video with us?
Yeah. I'll watch this one.
Okay, so
I think we're done playing with the chat here.
Hopefully. I tagged you. It's Jack posted the video in the podcast chat.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right.
1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going.
3, 2, 1, go.
No person is complete without the entourage.
Yeah, I still gotta get the money because the money.
There have been a
like
lot
you
of
get
people working
30%
on
off because YouTube
But
gets
let's
30%.
get to know the people
and then,
behind
like,
Chris Roberts.
I'm not gonna complain,
past
honestly.
and present,
But
and relevant to this project.
You get it end of December
Okay,
or
Spanish
end of
Flea,
every
you are a standard,
month.
so go ahead.
Oh, here there will be some music from here.
Actually,
so.
you know what? This has been done
Yeah.
before. It's been done better. No. What's next?
There is a lot of copyrighted music here. I'm not sure that I
Yeah,
can play this, honestly. Give me a second. I mean, I already did. Oh, fuck it. Fuck it. I don't know if the what's it called? If the stream gets demonetized, like how is it going to work with all of this shit that's happening right now in the chat?
All the tips will be taken away, man.
Honestly, that's okay. Like,
No,
that is a lot of money.
So, this one's on
No,
art.
no, that won't happen.
Let's give this a try.
We all won, Randall. I don't know how else to just, like, I don't know what to tell you.
Shot Jam CD went? Been looking for that. But, no, not for this one.
Yeah, this is all just copyrighted. Because I know that like the band hammer in on YouTube is really strong. Like they ban streams immediately because like there was a stream, lo-fi music, lo-fi hip hop, that went on for like 2 years, and then it got banned because they played something that YouTube thought it was copyrighted, like immediately. Like took down the whole stream down, like immediately.
But normally, is it not that they give
buddy
you
and
1,
producer
2,
with
and
Robert.
3 strike, and only on the third one they take you down?
Yeah. But I'm talking about the streams because they just like close the stream immediately if there's like some copyrighted music.
Systems helped produce Wing Commander 4. Left with Roberts to found Digital Anvil. Worked
And
on
that's
Star
classical
Lancer
music,
with Warthog
so-
and
Yeah.
started on
Is that
Conquest.
Yeah, but
and
like
Frontier
the 90s techno song
Yeah.
wasn't.
Wars. Left
That
when
was like 2
Microsoft bought
seconds.
Digital Anvil, created Fever Pitch Studios to finish Conquest with Ubisoft. Was later bought by Warthog, who themselves had been bought by Gizmondo. More on that later. Left Fever Pitch when it was dissolved along with Gizmondo and Tiger Telematics. Tried to kickstart Conquest 2. Did not reach his funding goal. Joined Star Citizen. Rob Irving, a buddy and designer slash coder with Roberts back at Origin Systems. Helped make
But
the
also
Strike
classical
Commander game.
music, it doesn't matter if it's
Stayed
classical or
with
not.
Origin,
It's
worked on
the
Pacific Strike, Jane's long
song itself that
and
just like it's
Ultima
basically
Online
like
until
Shazamming. So
Origin
that's
was
what YouTube
dissolved
does.
by Electronic
If it notices some music that
Bounces
is
around a bit.
this like
3DO
the same
Studios
as
and
a
Black
recording that they know of, they
Joined
just
Sierra
take everything down.
Entertainment, worked on
They
a
give you
few
strike.
Lord of the Rings games,
But
and
do
SWAT
the,
4.
I mean,
And-
is, for example, Mozart or Bach,
Mhm.
is that, does anybody own the rights?
Yeah,
on
they
those things?
like the publisher of the recording owned the rights. So maybe you can get a Serbian Philharmonic Orchestra recorded, and then whoever publishes that owns the rights. Like the music itself does not like it is not copyrighted because it's whatever it's called.
It's old.
Yeah, it's old.
I think after 50 years, it's out.
Yeah. It depends. It like that thing depends like from country to country. It's like different in every country, but the main thing is like I don't know how to explain this. Like whoever owns the copy of the song itself owns the rights to that. So that's the publisher, right?
Yeah.
After a break, joined Star Citizen.
It doesn't really
Martin Galway.
Shazam it. They have their own thing,
he's been
but
around.
it's basically what they're
Everywhere.
doing.
Like everywhere. Sound and music guy for Origin from 1991 on.
Public
Left
domain.
with Roberts.
Ross
Digital
Aiken,
Anvil.
thank you for the 10
Worked on
bucks.
Star and Freelancer.
So I don't know about
and
you
Conquest.
guys. This
Left
type
after
of video
Freelancer
is
shipped
not
and
horribly
did,
interesting to me.
Well, freelancing.
Like drawing a bunch of lines between people that know each other and how
Yeah.
there's what is he trying to imply simply that Chris Roberts hired people he knew?
Yeah.
Is that the point?
Nepotism, yeah.
Okay. Everybody hires people they know.
Yeah.
That's not really a big
That's
accusation.
that's why I Jack, that's why I said that some of his videos are just like malicious. I'm not like saying that like in the worst way, like some people would just make a video on Star Citizen being completely shit and a complete scam. I'm not saying that, but like drawing a line between the people. I watched this video already, Jack, like a year ago.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
hear?
but-
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so the reason why I said that is because of those lines, and because in all of the videos he makes fun of all of them, and the approach is like, okay, it's
You're
it's
still
a-
getting donations, by the way.
yeah, I can see that. Jesus Christ. Thank you,
Well,
Avishai,
I
for the
partially
30
agree.
bucks.
It's true. Usually, you move along with people you know, but you also make sure you take people who you are sure will bring value to the project you're about to start, right?
Well, yeah, but
and
also
here
you're gonna
it doesn't say anything negative, like specifically on a few people, except he shows, for example, that Sandy was dropped, parachuted on the job of marketing at CRG without any prior experience.
Yeah.
He also underlines the fact that
Yeah.
this German guy is on the team, although he was involved in very shady stuff and lawsuits in Germany, and that Chris Roberts still took him on board.
What was the shady stuff? I forgot,
So-
honestly.
The German guy was sued in Germany for tax fraud, basically.
Mhm, okay,
Because
yeah.
he was he had an investment fund to invest in movie production.
Oh yeah, I remember
And
that.
and in parallel, he had a scheme basically to organize tax evasion for
Yeah.
German investors in that fund. So yes, I agree. Not everyone on that slide is a bad person, but not everyone is necessarily the most competent. The problem is when you always move with the same 20 people your whole life, because it can't be that all those people were at the same time the most competent for the jobs they were.
Oh, I
taken
totally
for
agree.
CIG.
But it also is very normal for companies when they're starting to do exactly that.
Yes, I wanted to say that. So, for example, Jack, I know that you were in banking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you had enough money to make a new bank, right? You would call in the people that you thought were compatible with you to work with you, and also like that you know that they're effective at their jobs, and the only thing that like how you could know that is if you worked with them, right?
Yes, but I would not only surround myself with people I know. Like, for example, Chris Brother. You
Mhm.
can debate. I mean, he was working at Lego, making Lego games. Was he really the one? Like, in all the
By the way, for
studio
chat,
director
this is
that
Jack's
Chris Robert
channel.
could have
It's Jack Reacher from
picked,
YouTube.
was his brother the clear-cut
Smiley
technician?
face.
You know, Chris Robert did not even make a basic script.
Thank you,
So
Randall,
I agree you
for
want to
another
surround
10
yourself with
bucks.
a few people you know and share your vision, you know how you work and so on. But you also want to bring fresh new ideas, and perhaps more competent people, because all those people that you see on that slide, what strikes me is that they are old people from the old days of the gaming industry, and then he brings them all back together to make a game again in a totally new era in terms of game development. So I wish we would have seen their new people who had developed like very big games, MMOs and stuff recently at that moment. He didn't do that. So
I just
I
read
partially
the
agree.
comment from Harrison, Jack. Like he's saying that the same thing that you are. The problem with nepotism is that you were hiring people that you know, not looking for the best person. You usually offer them more money than you should, and have lowered expectations, etc. So I agree with that because I live in a country that has only that. Like nepotism is how the fucking country is working right now. But
It's a
can we
question of
say with
balance.
certainty that they were not good people for the project? That's
Well,
the thing.
we see that the project is struggling, so they're clearly missing on a few things, right? I mean, we
Totally
cannot
agree. Yep.
pinpoint exactly, that this is the reason. There's probably hundreds of factors in what the issues we see now, but
Okay.
that's just one element in the story, I think. And for example, I created a business myself. I had a startup, and my co-founder was a friend from my childhood, from high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that can never happen. But I took that guy in, and we decided to work together because he really believed that I was the best guy to bring certain things. And I knew 100% that he was the best guy to do what we were about to do. Because in my view, he was a real genius. Like, it was not
Yeah.
because we were friendly. I was just looking high up to him. Like, he was such a great person. I was, amazed by the idea of working with him.
See you,
But we
Smoke.
also took in other people who had skills that we objectively missed.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's what CAG did too,
I
right?
didn't put my girlfriend in the marketing position just because she's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And and even if my girlfriend had helped me in the very early stage, to build a web page, a bit like Sandy did. She helped a little bit in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But once the thing grow big, I would never have let her there unless she has the experience and the qualifications to do the job. I would have said thank
Well,
you.
she's not working in CAG anymore.
Yes, but she's still shareholder, participating in board meetings, showing up in TV shows like we see. I agree, her role is greatly diminished, but
I mean, she's a public figure at this point for this community, right? So I can't like say like she's the CEO's wife, and she was the lead of marketing back in the day. So that's why
Yes.
she's appearing. Like I don't have anything. I have a lot of things to say against CAG and how they're
Yeah.
managing the project, right? But
in the
I don't have
beginning, she
anything against
created
her. Yeah.
in the beginning, she created a lot of messes. Like
Mhm.
there are tons of stories of her engaging in long discussions and debates through the concierge channel and saying incredible stuff literally. And in the last episode of that series, I mean, I won't go into details, but she created a lot of issues. I think it's been identified by Chris Roberts, and he managed to put her aside. So I wouldn't say that she's still playing a role and negatively impacting the project, but surely, in my opinion, she did in the beginning have a negative impact around her at CIG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much direct bad consequences came about. I'm just not familiar with it. But what we do know is that this company in 10 years has accomplished much less than other game studios have in 5 years. So whether you just blame Chris, you blame Chris and Sandy, you blame other people Chris hired that are in this video, in the end, there's some really bad decisions that were made. And I think whether it was made because of nepotism or whether it was simply because Chris doesn't know shit about business because he didn't come from the business side. He came from the creating a video game. I don't even know. I mean, was he a developer or was he a game designer?
He was
What
a
was his
developer.
actual background?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Chris developed
Well,
Wing
back in the
Commander.
early days, he was both, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And
So
then
he may have some skills there, but I mean, it's pretty obvious to anybody that has any business background. And I've written several business books myself, but there's that company was very poorly run, and I think it's still poorly run. Probably a little better right now than it was 5 years ago, but they were really struggling, even though they had the finances.
Fully agree.
I guess this is turning into a what's it called, a podcast. So I'm trying to figure out how to make it on the fly, and I don't know how to, honestly. Let me see if I can. No, this is not going to work. Never mind. No, I wanted to have your what's it called, Discord on the screen. I guess I can do it like this.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you want to practice actually having the cameras on and stuff, we can do that when it's not live.
Yeah.
And make sure everything's copacetic. Because
I have it set up for that, but I can't do it
Okay.
on the fly. That's the issue. So I'm just
Got
going to
it.
keep it like this on
on
the screen, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not horribly impressed with the videos. I think, well, they're a little old, but also that style isn't something that I enjoy. I think it's a little...
See you, Randall. And,
I don't know.
and
It's
thank
kind
you.
of slow, but it's also nitpicking and things that should only take
Love you too.
5 minutes or 5 seconds even to really point out. And it doesn't need to be extended into
Happy Friday
a
to you,
20-minute
Sabatus.
video. So,
There
Yeah,
is
that's
a ton of
why-
videos, Atlas. Sorry, Jack. There is a ton of videos from him, and some of them are like an hour long. Like the one on Sandy is an hour long. And the reason why I said that those were malicious is part of the reason is what I just said before. But I remember the Sandy video, and I remember like him talking about her acting career and how bad she was at it. Like, do you know how many?
What does that have to do with anything?
Exactly, and how many actors struggle, and how many like fucking Stallone or Stallone, however you pronounce his name. He was a porn actor, right, at the start. I'm not implying that she was, of course.
Wait,
but,
who's a porn actor?
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, Stallone. Yeah.
Stallone. Thank you.
I don't think he was very good at it, though.
I don't know. Haven't watched it.
He only did a few movies.
I don't know. Haven't watched it. But I'm not implying that Sandy was that, because she wasn't. But does it matter? Like
Yeah, but
for
he's not really putting so much time on that. Maybe he quickly talk about that. But what it's showing is actually taking a lot of interviews she gave in different places, and he's actually showing that she's lying, because she says she has like 3 different stories, for example, on how she met Chris. Then she has 3 different stories on her experience in marketing, because sometimes she says she has no experience. Sometimes she says she was very experienced in marketing and knew everything like before she started working at CIG, and so he's basically demonstrating that you can't trust that person.
Yeah. Okay, I mean
and the
that's
point he
understandable.
makes is
Like
that
I don't care
she
how
was
she
not
met Chris, honestly. Like
No, no,
that's
no. But when someone is lying, um, usually when someone starts lying on one thing, then you lose trust on many other things, right? And basically, the point he wants to make is that she's not qualified. She was not at that time qualified for the
yeah.
job, and
Okay.
and that is another element he weighs in the story to say there are problems at TIG. This project is not managed in a professional way. But that's 1 hour long video, so I don't know if you want to watch it, but
See you, Ross.
I
Thank
would
you for
recommend to people
joining.
who haven't seen it to just watch it. It's reasonably well made. It's interesting, and it's still more information, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. I mean, there is some good info there. I'm not gonna lie. There is some valuable stuff there said. We can still watch it. We can still continue, but I don't know. It's what I wanted to say is like I wanted to ask you if you ever if you ever did anything like a public job.
Yes,
Jack.
Harrison. I'm sorry. Sorry,
Have
Grumpy,
you
it
ever
was
done anything like a public job? Like, did you ever speak publicly for a company
yes.
on like TV and stuff like that? You
Mhm.
did.
Mhm.
So, are you gonna say that you were completely truthful in every like public announcement that you had?
Yes, of course. I mean, my private life was never involved. I mean, I was never like under such a hard focus as CIG, but in everything I said, I was always 100% right. I mean,
All right.
not right. I mean, honest.
Hey, Atlas.
Hey.
Hello, Atlas.
Oh man, it is not like
I
in
love
the
you.
headphones, is it?
I love your background.
There we go. That's
Yeah.
better.
But you can't hear us now.
Well, I can kind of hear you.
Yeah, just use the headphones. It doesn't matter. So
Definitely can hear you better with the headphones.
yeah, it looks like you're.
I know, right? The green screen's not doing this thing very well here.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's
Whatever.
all improvised because like I just
Yeah, this is
wasn't
like
prepared
quick
for
last
this.
minute, whatever.
Yeah.
But I agree that Sandy is not so relevant anymore.
Yeah.
In the current discussions about Star Citizen and how it's gonna evolve and so on. But it still tells you something about how it started and kind of the mindset of Chris Robert. Just the fact that he involved his wife while she was not so qualified for the job. It gives you information about the personality of Chris Robert and how he is managing the company, even if she's not working there anymore and the problem has been solved. It tells you something about the project and how it's being managed.
Yeah. I just don't think it's that big a deal. I mean, what I said earlier, I think this is literally like a, 1 minute point to bring up. It's like, oh, and by the way, when they started the company, he put his wife or girlfriend at the time, whatever, in place as the head of marketing, which most companies, if you look at small businesses, that's exactly what they do. The problem was that she was in that position for a very long time. So as the company grew, it had more money. They didn't say, okay, well, now that we can afford to bring in somebody with 10 years of experience, let's do that. They just decided to keep her on. So, but also like that part of it, just to me, is not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that what I told you the other day, in fact, which is if you look at their charter, their goals for the Kickstarter, the reason that Chris Roberts said they want to do this is because he was tired of having to deal with corporate studio policies like getting things done on time and on budget.
Yeah.
Like he said that. He said those exact words. So we shouldn't be surprised that they can't do things on time or on budget.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I remember I'm going to paraphrase it, but I remember that Sandy on one of the Inforunners shows, she said that it was like, I don't know if you watched the interview with Sandy. It was like happened, I don't know, a couple of months ago. But
I don't think I did. No.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a good podcast. But she said something like that he was really not depressed, but he was really angry at like the state of the gaming industry and all that. And he wanted to work for a company, like whatever, just whatever. And she was like, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to make your own company and you're going to make money for our children and for me. Like she said that. I'm just paraphrasing. But like she put him up to it, basically.
Yeah.
And I mean, we wouldn't be here if she didn't.
If he was working somewhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, that's hard to say. I'd like to focus on critiquing their practices and not really critiquing the people themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
One thing that someone said in the chat that is true is that she also costs money to a company. I mean, she had a salary. I mean, that was straight out of backer's pocket, right?
I mean, if
But
she
does
was
that
doing
make
her
any
job,
difference?
then
Yeah,
like,
but
why
does
is
it
that
make
a
any
problem?
difference whether she was getting paid or Chris was getting paid more?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, it's his company. He can just decide how much he takes and how much she gets out of it. So I don't think that's a big difference either.
So the reason why I asked you, Jack, if you ever did like a public job, is because most people tend to, when they're in public and talking like to the press or whatever, they tend to say stuff that is not really true, but like it leans on the truth. Like it's on the truthful side, but it's really not. And they do that so they can make some things look better. So I don't remember what she said, how she met Chris, and like it's not really that relevant. But like I don't want to make this impromptu talk show or podcast just like us talking about fucking Sandy because she's not a part of CAG, she's not a part of the project anymore. In
She's
that
still
sense,
getting interviewed.
Hmm?
She still got interviewed.
I mean, yeah, because she's a public figure, right? At least for this community. Hmm?
And she gets dividend, no? She's a shareholder.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't have proof, but probably.
Surely, no. She's on the list of shareholder, so she owns a part of the whole business. And when dividends are paid, she gets her equal fair share in proportion to her.
Yeah, but
ownership
Jeff
percentage.
Bezos' ex-wife is still getting paid from Amazon, even though she's divorced and she doesn't work there.
Yeah.
I mean, once you own a piece of the company, or your husband does, or whoever the spouse is, that's going to happen no matter what. So,
I'm pretty sure that Elon's wife is or ex-wife is
multiple
still
wives.
getting- yeah.
I think
Multiple
Elon's been
wives.
smart enough to do prenups, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
To
bit
Faithless in
different in my
chat,
view.
Sandy is Chris's wife, Sandy Roberts.
What's funny, for example, is that in the very beginning, they were trying to hide the fact that they were a couple. Like Chris Robert would do show with Sandy, not saying, "Oh, by the way, it's my wife." And
Hmm.
then the information leaked, and for months they tried to say, "No, it's not true," and so on. And then finally, when the thing inflated too much, they admitted it. Yes, okay, we admit it. We are married. What a shit show is that from a professional company? I mean, why do you want to hide that in the first place? I mean, it means somehow you know there's something like not right in maybe
Yeah.
taking your
Yep,
wife.
that's probably exactly why.
And
I mean, it could be that, or it could be that they had a rough patch. I mean, I'm not going to white knight here and defend them because I don't care, but I'm just saying that maybe they had a rough patch and maybe they were like almost signing the divorce papers at the
Yeah.
time. Maybe. Like, we don't know. But like, my issue with Suncoast Galaxy and with like us talking about Sandy, and okay, somebody said that she's on the board of directors. My issue with that is like, she's not.
she said that.
She said that when?
Yeah. Like yesterday.
Okay. I mean, then she is an essential part of the company still, so we can talk about her, I guess. Yeah, like.
Yeah, I mean, you can debate whether board members really have an act. I mean, some board member.
Well, it's a
very
quarterly
passive
meeting, so
and-
every 4 months she has to come in for a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe she just goes there and listen, just for the procedure of the things. and does not really interject in the discussion or impose her opinion on other people. But
Yeah.
so that may not even be an issue in itself.
So yeah, she's still on the payroll then.
She probably gets some money, yeah, that's for sure.
Right. I mean, okay. She's not in the marketing team anymore, as far as we know. So that's good, I think. But also, yeah, I don't know what to think, like what to make of it.
I just don't think it's that uncommon. I think everybody does that. Elon Musk hired his brother. Jeff Bezos hired his brother. Everybody hires their relatives when they start the company at first, because that's the only people that willing to trust this person's vision, right? You can't afford to pay a lot of money when you're starting a new company, and the only people you can convince to do it are people that are either friends or relatives, or they're desperate and they'll do it even if the money isn't great. Once the company gets bigger and there's enough money available, that's when it's time to bring in professionals. But early on, I don't know.
Worthless.
Also,
we
this may
watched
be a super
SCL
boring
today.
topic for
That's
people.
why
I don't
we're
know.
talking about this.
Have you been checking what the comments are right now for the live stream?
Yeah. I'm checking right now.
But usually, if you have a startup or let's say a young company, and you bring your closest relative to help you because they're free basically, and that's the only resource you have, that's fine. But at some point, when you grow in the normal company cycle, you reach out to investors, professional investors, with a business plan and say, look, I have this little piece of a business, I think it has potential, and you pitch it to the investors so they give you money and you can inject more stuff in the business to make it grow and so on. But at that moment of the life of a company, when investors come in, you as a founder, you lose a lot of control, because the investors in general, if they invest in a risky business, and gaming I think is a very risky business, they basically dilute you. And you as a founder, when the investor came after the investment round, you find yourself with maybe 20% of the shares and the investors have 80%, because they take control of your company. And at that moment, if they want your wife to stay, they can say, yes, we like your wife, we think she's qualified. But if they don't like your wife and they don't like your brother and they don't like that person, they're going to say, we invest in your company, but please find yourself a good management team and competent people. And by the way, we know that person and so on. That's how things work. At CIG, that never happened, because we backers, we just give money for free and we don't get a say in anything.
When did the Calder's money happen? The 70
Sorry?
million. They got 70 million from Calder's brothers.
2018, 19, I believe.
18, 19.
Yeah.
Is that when she got booted off the management?
I don't know exactly.
All right. Fair enough. It could be it. You never know. But still, like, yeah, go ahead.
No, it could be.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, still, like, the only, like, I don't know. Like, can we, is it public? Is the board of directors public? Can we see who's there, who's sitting there?
For CIG?
For CIG, yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question, because I think they're a UK company, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the rules are.
Me neither. So it would be nice to see, like, the other people that are there. Like, maybe Todd Pappy and Tony Z are also there. Maybe not. Maybe it's the Calder's brothers, right?
Yeah, and a lot of companies, even public companies that are predominantly still held by the founders, the entire board of directors is just family members.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at like the, I'm trying to think of some examples here. The Waltons from Walmart, like the entire board of directors of that company for many, many years was just the children of the people that started the business.
Yeah. I remember looking at their corporate sites and seeing actual investors that they do not, that they have to answer to. Fate, could you link that to me? But yeah, like, look, we're not going to change anything during this podcast. So, like,
no, this
we
is just
can't
for fun.
influence shit, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing that I would not like this channel to turn into is just like attacking them personally, because we're here to play
Right.
a game, and we want that game to succeed. Like, I guess most of us, even you, Jack, you would love to have Star Citizen because you backed for it, right? You would love to have Star Citizen like the way they promised it, but that's just not happening. So, like, we can do whatever, but we're not going to change anything, honestly. That's like
that's a fact.
Yeah.
No, I think the Suncoast Galaxy, most people have seen it, but it's still healthy that people like you have the courage to bring it up, like tonight, because some new backers may not be aware, and I think
Yeah.
it's worth giving it a look, knowing about it. So the next time you pledge, or the next time you get pissed at CIG wondering why the hell is this project not making any progress, maybe that series can help you narrow down a little bit more easily your own assumptions as to what's going on.
I mean, the other perspective is just to watch the SCLs and the ICs, and you can see that they're just bullshitting you. Like, if you cut through the crap, you can just see that, like, it's all just bullshit. Like, the fact that, and we watched that video, Golgot's video. I think it was this week. I'm not sure, but the fact that, like, John Cruz said that modularity is going to come after server meshing, because the server meshing team is supposed to work on modularity. And then he said that the theaters of war people should be working on modularity. And then he said that modularity can't come because of the lack of resource management, so we're waiting on that. That's all just fucking bullshit, honestly. And that's why I almost got banned from Spectrum during my stream.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because
And
CIG moderators.
Yeah.
As I said already, I think some of them are really lying. Like, they know they're lying. I think some of them are just too optimistic sometime, or they want, and maybe they're not used to speak publicly, so they feel compelled to say something positive and optimistic. And I think also a lot of it, that's the third reason, is because of company dysfunctional processes. And this kind of miscommunication often happens in companies when you don't have proper lines of communications between management and employees. And then shit happens when you put those employees in front of a camera, because they don't know what they should be saying or not saying. They don't know what management has in mind, because management doesn't tell them clearly what the objectives are, what the deadlines are. And that's how you arrive to things like Theater of War, where they make a huge announcement during the biggest event of the year, the SitCon. They present it as something amazing that they've tested, that is going to be great, and that's basically for, like, in 2 weeks. That's how they presented it, even though they didn't give defined date. They really gave the impression it was almost done, right? They said, oh, it's easy to do, it just takes what we have already. That's what Trent Rassi said. You just take what we have already, and then we put it together in a new game mode, and it's done. And I think that happens when there is a big problems in the company, like things are not working as they should, and especially in terms of how different teams communicate with each other.
I also, like, it's not just the communication, it's the end goal. I don't think that they have an end goal, because for an end goal you will have a plan. And Atlas and I talked yesterday or 2 days ago about them changing the size of the SU boxes, and then not giving some of the ships the storage for those boxes. And then what is it, the 100i? What was it?
Yeah, the 100 series, when that ship came out, if you look at the drop down box on the 135, that ship came out after the SCU changes.
Yeah.
That ship cannot hold a 1 SCU box.
Yeah.
So what the hell, guys? You're supposed to be, if you're going to make changes across the board to things like the sizes and volumes of boxes, and then you make a ship after that, you would think that the ship would be made with the new specification in mind, and it clearly wasn't.
Right.
So
Somebody
maybe that was an
posted-
example of a ship that was pushed forward by marketing to get sold right away anyway.
Yeah.
Even though maybe somebody I don't know, maybe somebody inside mentioned this and said, "Hey guys, we're going to need to change this because it doesn't fit the new boxes," and maybe marketing said, "We don't have time. Put it up for sale." I don't know.
So I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Somebody posted board of directors in the podcast chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, let's try to do it like this. I guess you can read it all. Okay. Wait, what? There's two of them?
There's two boards or two people?
No, there's two people. No, what the fuck is this? Cloud Imperium announces Sandy Gardiner, whatever, and Mark Niche have joined the company's board of directors. Sandy joins the board as a newly appointed member, while Mark Niche replaces Dan Offner.
Yeah. So no, the board is definitely more than two people.
Yes.
I guess they're not listing the rest of them then, or
Yeah.
Oh, that's an update to say those two people have
Yeah,
joined the
that's
board
just an update.
already.
Yeah.
And so that's when I think Sandy really left her position in marketing and then took a more background position as a board member.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who's the other guy? Do you know him?
No, I think
Alright.
he's basically the lawyer.
All right.
From what I read there.
Okay.
But anyway, as you said, I agree. Sandy is not like relevant anymore. I think it's relevant in understanding the history and the trajectory a little bit of the project, but not so much anymore as to what happens now
Yeah.
and next week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Second
somebody said
paragraph.
grumpy second paragraph. Yeah.
Okay, where the fuck is the second paragraph? Am I not seeing it? Okay, Chris Roberts, Ortwin Freyermouth. Could you, Atlas, could you read them out, please?
Sure. Let me.
It's
open it.
right
I didn't
under,
bother opening because you were looking at it. So
Yeah.
let me switch over to that.
It's
podcast.
literally, the second paragraph.
It's in podcast chat, or where'd you put it? No.
Podcast chat, yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Okay. All right. Second paragraph. So appointment of Sandy and well, you read. Oh, okay. So Chris Roberts is on it. Ortwin Freymuth. Never heard of him. Aaron Roberts, probably a relative of Chris's.
Yep.
Ellie
That's his
Klein.
half brother, right?
And Chris Roberts retains full control of the Cloud Imperium board and group, so he is the chairman of the board. Chris is.
Yeah.
So the board is his wife, his brother, their lawyer, and then two other people.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that unusual. I mean, it does seem like, wait a minute, that's just family, but I've worked with a lot of companies, and that is not that unusual, at least in the U.S.
And anyway, if she's a shareholder, in most cases, that will grant her automatically, like legally, a board position. And
yeah, I mean, depending on her stake in the company, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know because I never worked with. I worked for companies, made like commercials and shit like that, but I never worked with a company. Like, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, I just don't.
It doesn't look
right,
right? It's just not ideal. It's.
Yeah, but it's not uncommon. I mean, I think both
Yeah.
of those statements could be true. It's not ideal, but it's not uncommon.
But also, you know how like US is, and like family-owned businesses are the shit, and everybody wants to support them. So you can say that they went down that path because of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
actually, it would have been better if it started like that. Like okay, Sandy, she helped on the website. She's my wife, whatever, no need to go into detail, but she's in the board, but she's not playing an active role.
Yeah.
I see that less of a
So
problem than her playing an active role in a key function where she
Fateless says
doesn't have.
understaffed, underpaid. What are you referring to, dude? Because I think we
Where did he
checked the
say that?
salaries earlier today, and it didn't look like they were underpaid.
I couldn't see the salaries.
And at 1,000 people, definitely not understaffed. Now, maybe 800 of those 1,000 people are marketing people, in which case I would say the developers are understaffed for sure. But I don't know that they've ever released the breakdowns of different departments within the business.
Also, Fate, if you want to hop in, just hop into the pre-podcast. But yeah, the link that I sent that I talked about like Glassdoor and all that, that's the link that I sent to Fateless like a year ago that I was searching for on the stream. So I saw some salaries over there, and from what I heard from other like devs that I had in my org in the community Discord, they said that they're like not that good. They're not that bad, but they're not that good.
Well, how much were they? Do you remember?
I don't remember, honestly. I do not remember. Like
So I'd
I
tell you
remember
some
a comment
rates-
from a guy that applied there. I forgot the name of the guy, and he was in my community Discord. He's probably still there.
Yeah.
Maybe if he's in the chat, maybe he's gonna say something. But he said that he applied, and then the salary was all right, but they wanted them to come to I think it was Frankfurt. So he was like, "Can I work from home?" And they were like, "No." So he just didn't like it because the salary wasn't good enough for him to like change places.
So I will tell you, I know the U.S. rates for this. Now I'm in Austin, where they have a studio. Although most of the people here are not developers, most of them are on the customer support / marketing. But in Austin, a new graduate, somebody who just graduated university with a degree in computer engineering, their starting salary is about 105, 110,000. Somebody that has 5 to 8 years of experience is about 180 to 200,000. Amazon is paying developers with 5 to 8 years of experience around 300,000. So those may be higher than what people are getting paid in Europe. I don't know. They moved the company to Europe. But also in my experience, when I had a bunch of UK staff, they didn't necessarily get paid more than the US people. Not a whole lot less either, but they had way more vacation time, and they all had company cars.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to say who's getting paid more or less.
I did a video on that, like is Star Citizen a scam, and I covered like how much employees are getting paid in Austin, and then in England, and in Germany, etc. So by the end of it, I don't know if you watched it, Atlas, but like they're not scamming you. If it was a scam, it was the stupidest fucking scam ever, because they're running a company with 800 people or 700 or whatever, and like paying for them, and then making mocap studios, and then making paying for servers on Amazon, etc., is gonna, like, they're basically barely covering the expenses. And that was like for the last year, and I think that the last year they actually said that they had like 10 million profit. Like the first time that they had an actual profit. This year is going to be even better than the last year.
Yeah,
I reckon. But
well, I like what DM said.
What did he say?
Well, out of a company of 1,000 people, 15 board members, 950 marketing staff, 1 janitor, and 4 moderators, and 30 developers.
Could be, because we don't know how many people they're actually like hiring for.
I always say the same kind of thing as a
certain
joke.
spots. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think gaming in general is known, like in the world of people who can do coding and or arts and stuff. It is known for a fact that going into gaming is by definition the worst option for you in terms of salary. So everybody knows you're gonna get much more money if you go work at Google or Amazon than if you would go for Ubisoft. So you already start at a disadvantage to hire new people. because those companies like Amazon, they are growing like crazy. So they basically every time someone's available on the market, they go and pick them up.
Oh yeah, they grab
So
people left and right.
yeah, so it's hard for gaming companies to find qualified people with experience with the salaries they pay. I never understood with the margins in the gaming industry why they don't just do an effort and pay people more so they can attract more people. And that's the question I think is valid in the case of CIG. And I think that's why also you see a lot of the networking part of multiplayer game is often an issue. And I think it's in part, not only, but it's in part because they just can't hire network engineers and like all those people, they get
Yeah.
paid $500,000 at Google. Why would they go work to develop an MMO when they can work on super amazing stuff at Google?
So I looked at some salaries here. I don't know if you looked on Glassdoor as well. So game developer.
I can't open it.
I'm looking. So
Okay.
game developer is 122,000, which is a little on the low side for sure. But then like within that, senior physics programmer. So this would be the guys that actually deal with the non-visual elements of the game. 224,000. So 224,000, and especially if you're in the UK.
Is that a senior game dev?
Yeah, that's a senior physics programmer at Cloud Imperium.
Okay.
Yeah, 224,000. So that's a lot more in line with what I would expect from other companies if that person was working elsewhere. That's pretty good. I mean, anybody that's got 8 years or more of development experience is, if they're not making at least 200,000 a year, then they're not doing something right. But then you also have really cheap people like support staff making 55,000.
Yeah. And I wanted to touch on that because, like we were talking about nepotism and all of that, but do you know how many fans of the game got hired by CAG? Because there's a lot. Like every other ISC, we can see somebody that was a fan of the game that was posting on Spectrum, and then he got hired for like QA or whatever. I'm not sure that they're getting paid as much as like an actual QA tester would.
Yeah, QA testers don't get paid much in general. They're usually under 100,000.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the full list of their salaries here. So QA tester, 87,000. QA specialist, 94,000. Associate producer, like that girl from Canada, 87,000. Generic game developer, 122,000. Manager, 180,000. Character artist, 100,000. 3D character artist, about the same. Developer engineer, so like a senior developer, 155,000. Support specialist, 55,000. Producer, 125,000. Senior character artist, 150,000. Artist, 80,000. Production assistant, 58,000. Workspace. Okay, so looking at their full lists. Okay, so here's senior lead engineer. So this is the high-end developers, 262,000. Everything is pretty much in line or slightly less than other U.S. companies.
So it's not that bad.
Well, it's not horrible, and it's not over the top. I mean, I would say if I reviewed their salaries the way I've done for a lot of other companies, they're not wasting money on salaries. At least based on this information, they're right along where they should be for paying people for that role.
All right, I remember I didn't check the salaries this time. I forgot the salaries from like a year ago when I checked them out. But I remember that I read out the what's it called, the experiences from the people there. Like I went through them because all of them have a negative and a positive thing to say, right?
Sure.
And I remember that most of them said, and I don't know if it was on Glassdoor or on the other side, I forgot. But I know that they said that like the management is so hectic, and it's like really hard to work in that like in the offices, because like they're constantly getting like other info. Like one day they ask them for something, and the other day they ask them for something else.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that's every developer that I know will tell you that is true in their company as well.
Yeah, so Faithless is in the chat, and that's the link that I sent him, like the Glassdoor link. I sent him like a year ago. So maybe something changed.
Well, yeah, they made more money this year.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure if it was like last year. Maybe it was last year. I forgot, honestly. But it was like a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if they're getting paid now like they're supposed to, good for them.
Yeah, but they're not getting overpaid either. That's good as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's our money, so that's why it's good. But still, like...
I want to know where my money's going, damn it.
It's going into Squadron 42.
Well, yeah, and YouTube and you.
And thank you for that.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah. I don't know. You guys have anything else to say? I'm really hungry, and my girlfriend is... She's feeling like a hostage upstairs because she's upstairs waiting for me to end the stream. Jack?
No. I mean, we could talk about that for hours.
We should probably make a podcast together, honestly.
Yeah, and with other viewers, it would be interesting.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to jump on as long as I got a free slot in my day here.
All right. So for the chat, if you do not know, Atlas and Jack are YouTubers. I'm going to link there. I got to get you off the screen now so I can get to the browser.
I'm not really a YouTuber.
You are a YouTuber.
I'm more of
For
a
me,
troll.
you are. You make the funniest fucking videos. So that's Jack Reacher. And Atlas, I got to... God damn it. Give me a second. I had your link saved already.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And there's Atlas's latest video, I think. The Inside Star Citizen React. I don't know if you made anything else.
I haven't posted anything. I need to start posting more of the stuff I've been making.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Yep.
So, yeah, go sub to them. They're amazing. And I'll have to end it now because we got to order some food. But thank you, guys. I'll be back in a second. I just need to sign off on the stream. All right. So let me play some music in the background. Somebody just did something. I don't know what. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining today. I wanted to play some Star Citizen. They said that we're going to get the PTU up today. The leaks said that we're going to get PTU Wave 1 today, but that never happened. Maybe it's going to happen like later today. I don't know. Maybe it's going to happen on Monday because the leak said Monday or today, late night. So if it happens today, I'm going to be probably streaming tomorrow. And yeah. So thank you for watching, and thank you to all my patrons for supporting my channel. If you want to support the channel, super chat, Patreon, whatever. Like, there's a bunch of ways to support me. You supported the shit out of me today, especially Atlas and Randall, and I'm really thankful for that. And yeah, that's like 2 months rent for this apartment. So the other way to support me is checking out the merch. It's not just for supporting me, you get something in return, and I think that the merch is cool. It's funny. It's all like Star Citizen themed. There is some like applications or prints with my face on it. You don't need them. I just made them for the super fans or whatever. Or the friends like Faithless. Faithless got a beanie with a Grumpy Eye logo. And yeah, if you want to check it out, it's like Streambot is, yeah, you can see Stream Elements just like posted the link, or the link is going to be down in the description. And with that said, thank you for watching again, and thank you to all the guys that donated to me. We're going to eat well today. So yeah, don't forget to bring a towel when you're traveling through space, and